Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 11 of Disco Elysium. As the story has gotten a little bit more complicated and really unfolded, I thought it might be a good idea to just take a few seconds to recap the main story so far. If you've come in not expecting episode 11 to be very far in, rest assured that there's been some really major plot developments, so anybody who wanted to avoid spoilers, I would give you a moment to hop out now. We arrived in this city to investigate the murder of a man who was strung up by the neck from a nearby tree, and fairly early on came upon a group of Union men who, outright confessed to the crime. They said, that's right, we did it on purpose, we did it maliciously, we did it because he deserved it, and one of the reasons that he deserved it is that he had sexually assaulted a friend of ours, a woman who stays here at the motel and has been for several months. Hello to blah blah blah. I hope you're having a great Thursday. Boy, I'm looking forward to the weekend. Thing is, we went and talked with the woman who had allegedly been raped, and she said, nope, that's not what happened. I don't know what they're talking about. We were in a consensual relationship with that guy for multiple weeks. I miss him a great deal. I feel terrible about what happened to him. That assault did not occur. And that had really been a point of mystery to me, because we went back downstairs and talked with the Union guys and the main leader, Titus. Oh my gosh, blah, blah, blah. Thank you so much for the resubscription. I really appreciate that. I don't know what else to say. I really appreciate it a lot. Thank you very much. The main guy, Titus, said, oh my God, I can't believe she wouldn't go along with our story. And I was like, why would he believe that she was going to go along with his story about a fake sexual assault that her actual real world, if not boyfriend, then, ongoing fuck buddy had assaulted her? It didn't make any sense to me. And as of the last episode, Mia is here but quiet. Hello to Mia. I hope that you're also having a great Thursday. We finally got clarity on that last point, which was the Hardy Boys, led by Titus, those Union guys, didn't kill him. They didn't have anything to do with it. They, blah, blah, blah. I don't know if you were here for the last episode, but they staged the murder to make it look like they had done it, because the murder victim had been upstairs with the woman who, I should say, her name is Klasia. They had been together. A shot came in through the window and killed him. Now they're theorizing that maybe the shot was meant for her. I don't buy that. She lives in that apartment all the time. She's up on the roof all the time. If they were interested in having her dead, they could accomplish that at any time or at any other time without putting that other dude at risk. So what we have now appears to be a professional targeted assassination at that guy. He was, I don't know if they were actually in the process, but he was with Klasia, and shot came in through the window, broke the window, killed the guy, didn't hit her, and then the glass was replaced, and everybody went on about this idea that no, it was actually the Hardy Boys. So they staged this hanging, which we heard was eerily silent, and now we know why, because he was in fact already dead. And if you're wondering why I haven't mentioned the name of the murder victim, it's because we don't actually know it. I don't know that it's been said, or at least I don't remember it ever being said. It remains at this hour unclear. I know that Klasia had a name that she called him, but that sort of brings us back up to date. I don't know that we'll do this thorough of a recap at the beginning of every episode, but hey, it's been 10 previous episodes. I thought it might be a good idea to catch us up, and I think in this episode we are going to round out the end of our Wednesday in-game. That'll be our third full day of investigation? I think it will be. Anyway, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and hit continue. Blah, blah, blah was here, and when I missed something, I watched the episode later. I love this series. Blah, blah, blah. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, so, yep, we deliberately stayed behind some of these orbs to take a look at. Cigarette butts cleaned away under a rock. Brand. I don't know how to pronounce that. You take a mental note. That word seems important somehow. Damn it. T-O... I'm not going to be able to pronounce that. Somebody say that out loud in the game, and then we'll know how to say it. I don't know what that sound is. Someone made a campfire here a long time ago. Alright, now I'm going to walk out here, because every once in a while he'll get like a thought bubble, like a thought orb, and one of the many reasons that I care about these is not only are they flavor text, but they... we get experience points for them now. A rusted, broken control box for the radio relay tower, which I assume is this. This ladder is too rusty to climb. The sea air has eaten away at it. This relay tower coordinates boat traffic in the bay, barely. Something out here. It's not one of the traps that we're looking for. A scented scarf. +1 shivers, -2 physical instrument. So, at the moment, I have horrific necktie on, and that's because something in the game, and now I'm trying to remember, the narrator at one point said, oh my god, you'd better keep horrific necktie on until it happens. I don't know what it is. I assume that we'll know it when it happens. Otherwise, I really want to put on bow tie. Not because I'm a big fan of the old Tucker Carlson, as we call it, but the +2 drama is more in the way that I've built my character. What the hell? Oh, hold on, I can't read that. Tiny inlets here off in the far distance where the post something something. That was weird. Let's take a quick look around here. As of the last episode, I was looking for... I think... Let me check... Yeah, the fourth and final trap. Check the trap near the canal you cross southeast of the village. So, actually, I'm way off, because we're very northeast of the village.
An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot. The wind has blown a sand dune in front of it. The door hasn't been opened in a long while. You see a handle.
This is a red check. It cannot be retried. Well, I'm sure as hell not going to try it on a 3% chance. What is this thing anyway? So we saw this building last episode. It's got a big chain that like stretches out into the ocean.
It's military. A service depot of some sort.
Use a service what?
The washerwoman mentioned a depot up the coast. She said it was for moving ammo and cargo across the bay. This might be it.
The lieutenant looks at the hunching concrete toad in front of him. I assume that's a metaphor for this entire building, not an actual, like, little concrete toad.
It may have been used to service an aerostatic battleship in the atmosphere, or a fortification, like a sea fort in the bay.
Alright, well, there's no point in trying this. Hopefully it'll be marked on the map, just in case we ever get, like, 15 points in physical instrument or whatever. And as always, that little, the blinking that you see there on Kim and other things, that's me tapping. Because for me, if you just hold it down, I don't, like, the blinking draws my eye a lot better. So this is the church. I don't have a particular reason to go in here, but let's go check it out.
Heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand shut in front of you. The rectangular sea-worn ornamentation appears in stark contrast to the padlock, carelessly drilled into the wood.
Let's look at it first. I'm always a big fan of inspecting, examining, looking.
The carving on the door is block-like and angular, like the church itself. Two large beams shoot downwards, sinking into the wood before they reach the threshold.
Run your hand over a beam.
The surface is smooth from the wind, but moist to the touch.
Take a closer look at that padlock. We do have a chain cutter that we might be able to get in.
This cheap-looking padlock is sturdily built. It shackles together a hasp and a staple screwed into the wooden door. The lock is adorned with a yellow sticker. It'll be easier to break the staple than the lock. Also, that sticker is interesting, somehow.
Well, let's look at the sticker. I don't know why that was an interfacing check to look at the sticker, but let's check it out.
You see a yellow circle with two X's and a big curve below them that looks like a mouth. You're pretty sure you haven't seen it before, but what the symbol depicts is clear enough. A smiling dead guy. The curve makes it smile, and the X's make it dead. There is something blindingly modern about this symbol. Its modernness puts to shame everything you've seen before.
What makes it so modern?
It's the contrast between the cheery, chemical yellow and the rigor mortis. As if the cheery guy didn't know he was dead, or the dead guy didn't care that he was. Either way, you get the sense the forces of future are at work here.
Hey, Kim, have you seen this symbol before?
He takes off his glasses and uses a blue handkerchief to thoroughly wipe them clean before inspecting the sticker. Then he looks up, pauses, and replies.
No.
Well, what does it look like to you?
Looks like a dead man smiling. Suggests junior delinquency.
Now, I guess I'm going to ask him what is junior delinquency. I don't know why my character wouldn't know that, but...
For Revachol ZOC, the moral intern defined junior delinquents as minors between the ages of 10 and 16 who have committed an act in violation of the law. These acts aren't called crimes as they would be for adults. Crimes committed by minors are called delinquent acts. This was part of your officer's exams.
He puts the handkerchief in his coat pocket. What is suggestive of junior delinquency here?
I haven't seen that sticker before, and I'm not a youth.
I haven't seen it, so it must belong to an age group outside my own. That is some mad deductive reasoning. Drienne, I hope that you're having a great Thursday. Thank you so much for the lurk. Drienne wants to be very careful about watching this because they're planning to play it hopefully sometime soon as well. Although I think Grand Theft Auto 5 is technically next up in the rotation after wrapping up Horizon Zero Dawn. It's very modern, but does the cheery guy not know he's dead, or does the dead guy not care that he is? What's the source of the irony here? Yeah, I'm going to say that.
That level of conceptual thinking is not part of my skill set.
I have an 83% chance to peel off the sticker without ripping it. And it is a white check. Let's do it.
There's nothing like the sound of a sticker unpeeling. Now it's stuck to your thumb.
Let's put it in the entry, in the ledger where it belongs.
Looks like today was a gold star day.
Secret task, style your paperwork. All right, let's take a look at the staple, which is what's holding it shut, I think, in addition to the padlock.
The padlock passes through a staple that's been hastily attached to the wood. Closer inspection reveals that one of the screws is not a screw at all, but a nail. The work has been done recently and is unprofessional, to say the least.
Marinda's saying, but couldn't the sticker be from an elderly generation? I think that Kim's calculation there is that people older than him probably aren't decorating padlocks with stickers. Although that would be my question as well. He's making a lot of big assumptions there. And hello to Azaric. Azaric, I hope that you're also having a great Thursday. You too, Marinda. I got a lot done these last couple days at work, so I am looking forward to the weekend. And the weather's been glorious. It's really been a nice few days here.
Should you want to get through, it might be easier to just pry the whole thing off.
Okay, I'm going to say to the Lieutenant, this is where Mr. Prybar comes in handy.
Maybe we should circle the building first and look for another way. The building has seen enough mistreatment.
There is a touch of guilt in his voice.
Should we start with that kick drum coming from the ice? I heard a sound before.
Yes, the pulsing bass. A sure sign of junior delinquency. Somewhere east of here.
East of here, okay.
There's something on the sea ice there.
Oh, I don't even have the equipment on there. All right, let's step away. Yeah, let's step away. Because here's the thing. We can go check that out and then come back and rip the door down if we want to. All right, this looks like a big load of nothing. I'm going to double click. That's how we get running. Brian, hello. I hope that you've had a great Thursday so far. Brian, I have not been able to catch any of your streams for the last several days. I hope that you've been doing okay. Hold on. We got to go find out what this is. Every orb that we see is 1 experience point, which isn't a lot until you get 10, 20, 30 orbs. Painted with pastel, someone is trying to bring cheer into the world. Trash from some unending party. A pole screwed into the ice keeps the tent erect. And more tribalistic markings. This post is covered in little humanoids. This doesn't... Maybe there's soil underneath here, because I do see some reeds over here. Because if this is just ice, I feel really uncomfortable about this as a sleeping arrangement.
A pane of Eternite has been planted into the snow. 2 poles are holding it up. Barely holding it up. It could fall over any minute. A stronger gust of wind might be enough.
Pile of Eternite. So Brian is saying that he needs a new PS4 controller. Brian, Prime Day is coming up just a little bit later this month. It would be very surprising to me if there were not some pretty good sales on console controllers, especially from what is now the previous generation. It seems very, very likely that those are going to want to be sold off, so I bet you're going to see a very good price on it. I'd probably pick up a couple. What is this? I don't know why I would push it over yet.
It looks like a makeshift bridge. Could be convenient.
Oh, okay. He supports pushing it over, so I guess I'll make a little bridge over here. Let's see if we get an animation or if it just cuts to black.
The pane falls into the icy snow with a soft thunk.
We should ask that girl on the ice what's going on here.
The lieutenant gestures towards the young woman next to the tent. All right, that should make it a lot easier to get over here again. Oh, what? This is someone's home away from home, just like yours.
The tent is just tarpaulin fabric covering a pile of stuff. The flap is open. Inside, 3 young men, all in forward-looking apparel, reminiscent of the sticker on the padlock, are listening to some new form of music. It's like nothing you've ever heard. One of them looks at you.
Again, if we hadn't stopped and checked out the sticker, this would be different. I'm 100% confident that it wouldn't just throw in a random sticker on the padlock that wouldn't make any sense. Like, this game is so carefully made. So the fact that it has little details like that it knows that we have that and it might be on my character's mind, I'm just so impressed by little details like that.
Come on, get in and close the flap behind you. The warm stuff's getting out.
It's safe to assume this is their leader, or at least he thinks he is.
Let's hit it. Squeeze in.
Sorry, we barely have room for one.
You go ahead. I'm too old for this.
I'm actually not, he thinks. I just dislike delinquents.
I'm sure you will feel right at home. I'll keep watch.
He gestures for you to squeeze in. Oh, I honestly thought that my character would just sort of like disappear. We'd still have the externals view. Look at this. Canisters filled what appears to be canisters filled with what appears to be water. Oh, I didn't catch the rest of it. I really tripped over that first section. A speaker, the big kind they use for live music. A pile of nasal sprays, brand name Nosifed Ultra.
A young man with peroxide blonde hair holds up a Harman Welshi tape player, nodding along to the music. He looks at you with a knowing smile and says, as though you're supposed to be sharing some tremendous evangelical secrets,
Hardcore!
And say nothing.
Hardcore!
Still say nothing.
Hardcore to the mega!
All right.
Here comes the night!
could there have been a right way out of this garden of forking paths, you think?
Oh, wait, new task. Solve the egghead puzzle. I don't know what the puzzle is.
The young man with the tape recorder acknowledges your return. When he looks at you, he squints as though you were the setting sun.
This is hardcore. It's hardcore!
You're just gonna keep saying it's hardcore, aren't you?
Skibber-dee, skibber-danger. I am the rearranger.
Your cop training did not prepare you for this. What to do?
Huh. Well, let's talk to the other fellow. I thought there were like... Oh yeah, there are 3.
You see a youngish man bleaching the tips of his hair with a toothbrush. He puts the toothbrush down and extends his hand in greeting.
Hello, I'm Andre. It's a pleasure to meet you.
There is definitely something futuristic about his hair, aggressively so. You get the sense that this is what the future will look like. Imbecilic. Yes, should the future ever come, it will look deeply imbecilic, like this guy.
Let's shake his hand.
His grip is strong, sweaty, and warm. He's trying to project and inspire confidence.
This is my posse. Noid.
The young man with earrings looks at you suspiciously.
And Egghead. Egg!
He yells. The tape player high above his head continues to blast strange music. Tape player above his head. Okay.
Together with a Settle Burger, who's out there right now, doing some seriously progressive sonic experimentation, we like to think of ourselves as music venue organisers.
How many music venues have you organized?
We have many in the pipeline, officer.
That means they haven't set up a single one yet.
Why are you here?
You see, we've been all over Jamrock North, prospecting for real estate to establish a new venue in.
Also for talent.
Yeah, thank you, Egghead. And while there is no shortage of raw, unfettered talent spinning tapes in Jamrock, we've had rotten luck with the real estate part.
Place is a shithole.
I apologise for my friend Noid's potty mouth. I realise this is not how you speak to a police officer. He has authority issues.
There's no need. The place is pretty bad. I don't want to say that about Jamrock. Was there something you wanted?
Yeah, it's a matter of occupied ecclesiastical property. I bet you've noticed the derelict hive of narcomania on the coast.
He's talking about the church, but what are you talking about?
I'm talking about the church, and I'm not exaggerating. Even a place of spiritual refuge can become a magnet for all sorts of dopeheads and burnouts if left unattended.
Dopeheads. Burnouts.
He angrily spits on a screw, then starts cleaning it.
Well, I'm sad to say, that's exactly what happened. Sad because we were just about to put Martinez on the map with one of the maddest dance clubs in Jamrock. Nah, strike that. In Revachol.
Strike that! The word!
And sadder yet, because the dopeheads and burnouts holed up in there were the worst kind.
He leans back a little, watching you with a steady, serious gaze, letting you imagine just how bad those dopeheads and burnouts really are. Good. This calls for an opinion. You're an expert in those.
Well, I'm not going to go try to chase off some dopeheads and burnouts with 1 point of morale left. Good. This calls for an opinion. You're an expert in those. What kind? I won't stand for narcomaniacs of any kind. No narcomaniacs on my watch. Shake your head gravely. I don't know. I'm kind of a narcomaniac myself. What kind?
The spooky kind.
Spooky?
I was hoping you would be the judge of that, officer. All I can say is, their spookiness is the kind that keeps us from restoring this church into a community centre and a place of spiritual refuge.
Also, they don't eat or clean the building. Shit's gonna collapse.
People just want to spin tapes without them spooking it up. Place has bad signs. No one can dance like that.
Thank you, Egghead. So you're gonna look into it, right? It should be a police matter. Getting them out. Whatever spooky stuff they're doing, I'm sure it's not what the Ecclesiastes meant their property for.
I will look into it. I'll look into anything that has, like, experience points or money attached to it.
All right, man.
He claps his hands enthusiastically.
Andre's obviously very happy you took him seriously. The whole tent is. The boys exchanged giddy looks.
So, let's start with the business at hand. Who put the padlock on the door?
Yes. I asked Noid to install a measure against more drifters wandering in. It's a temporary fix. Just something to contain the situation.
I had to do it in a hurry. Not my best work, but it should hold for a while.
How long have the people been locked in there?
Not long. Like a week, maybe?
How can you be sure they haven't starved to death?
I'm super sure they're alive. I mean, come on. I'm at least 90%, maybe 85% sure they're still alive.
Somewhere in the ruinous past that led you here, there was something called exams. You may have learned the term involuntary manslaughter there.
It feels a lot more like voluntary manslaughter. Andre, do you know what involuntary manslaughter means? Because Encyclopedia is not expanding on it for me.
Yes, I do. I listen to Channel 8 all the time. I know about crime stuff, and I assure you, officer, this is not what's happening here. I'm at least 80% sure they're alive. I mean, come on. Most people aren't ever that alive in their entire lives.
What?
I don't know. What does anything mean, really?
That's true. If one thing doesn't make sense, nothing makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
He looks at his friend with an expression of profound understanding. Yeah, it's the transitive property of idiocy. But he's currently an employer, so to say, so I catch your drift, man.
I knew you'd get it. You're one smart cop.
I get by. Now, where was I with that padlock?
He nods attentively, ready to answer the questions of one smart cop.
I need the key.
Of course. Noid, give the officer the key.
All right.
Ooh. The speed freak dips into his belt pack and produces a yellow key. He then makes a sudden, cool-infused move, tossing it in your general direction. I'll tell you what, let's try it. Reaction speed, go. Be the cool cop, catch the key as it flies towards you. Robocop it.
You sense the
Ha-ha!
trajectory of the little piece of metal and plastic. The object makes a small ringing sound as it approaches. Just the tiniest chime to your left.
Hello to Groomfy. So, I once saw an interview with Peter Weller, the actor who played RoboCop, and apparently, so the scene early on in RoboCop where he's walking through the police station and somebody tosses him the keys and he like snatches them out of the air, like he catches them. That was the first scene that he ever shot in the RoboCop armor. He could barely move. He could barely see. They shot that scene over and over and over and over again because the keys kept like bouncing off the like rubber gauntlet that he had on his hand. He said it was incredibly demoralizing, and it was after that point that he started working with, oh gosh, I don't think it was a stunt guy. He started working with somebody, or maybe a couple somebodies, to sort of learn how to move in the suit, and that's where the sort of like more herky-jerky movements, like the more mechanical movements of RoboCop as a character came in. That there was a lot of that not yet established in that first scene that they shot, and it was specifically because it was so uncomfortable. It took so long to do this one like 5-second scene. It was a very interesting interview. Anyway, catch it.
Ka-ching! The key hits your palm. The speed freaks nod to you approvingly.
Thanks, man.
The speed freak nods to you. A respectful nod. You proved something here.
I'm so good at being cool. Okay, other questions. Also, Miranda's saying that people probably wouldn't starve to death in a week. They might dehydrate. Yeah. They could also turn to cannibalism. Or I bet that they'd had some delicious rats to eat as well. Did I say hello to Groomfy? I'm concerned that I wasn't. Groomfy, I hope that you're having a great Thursday. I'm so ready for the weekend. I know that I say that starting like Tuesday, but it's going to be, I don't know. I think it's going to be a good weekend.
Sure, man. Tell us what you want to know. Let's do it.
Okay, now I definitely want to know the deal with Egghead, but who exactly are the people left inside the church? Also, I don't understand how stuck that they would be inside the church, given the fact that we can apparently just use a pry bar to get that off. I feel like if 2 or 3 people really kicked against those big doors, they'd probably knock that padlock done. It doesn't sound like it's very well secured. But who are they?
Truth is, I don't really know. None of us do. I don't even know how many there are. All we've seen are glimpses.
Again, let's play along with him. Better safe than sorry. Any more you can tell me?
Yes. There's also the machinery.
This machinery is of the deeply mystical variety.
When I first scouted the place, back in February, it was abandoned, empty. Took some time getting the crew together. So about 2 weeks ago, we came here hoping to set the stuff up. Suddenly, there are all these strange machines lying around in there.
One of them has wires running into bowls of water. Wires into water. Never seen anything like it.
Andre, tell him about the feeling.
Oh, and it felt like there was something in there with us, watching us from the dark.
No, the other one.
Which other one? I'm not as in tune with my emotions as you are, Ed.
Felt like silence. Awful silence.
But you haven't physically seen anyone.
Not exactly. We've just seen someone who we think is a woman go in and out of the church. A couple of times. And we felt someone or something eyeing us inside. But that's kinda it.
So why did they ever think it was burnouts and narco narcomaniacs or whatever. Like, what a weird assumption. For I saw one woman apparently depositing some machines. Azarek is just saying thank you to Mia for the shoutouts. Yeah, and thank you to Mia for doing all the shoutouts. Like, much appreciated. And Azarek, anytime, you, Drienne, Brian, Groomfy, anybody that streams, please let us know. What was it about something watching you? Tell me about the machinery. See, something watching you, that's... I don't know that I can trust their perceptions, but tell me about the machinery that you actually did see.
You should talk to Noid about that. I just got a distinct burnout and dopehead sign from them. Probably jacked up to some snuff station too. Probably, very likely.
Yeah, how can you be sure they're burnouts and dope heads if you haven't seen them, or anyone?
Well, honestly, I can't, but I am.
This is a below-feeble attempt at avoidance. Basically, he is attempting to weaponize idiocy.
Interesting, so Rhetoric thinks that he's just pretending to be this stupid. Wow, you can't, but you do. I should add weaponized idiocy to my own repertoire. I don't think we want to be insulting to this guy, though. So far, we've been pretty cool. I'm going to play along, and if the game penalizes this for me because I'm not accepting rhetorics, this person either knows a lot more than what they're saying, or a lot less than any thinking rational human being should have to know when they are this age. Either way, I don't see the benefit of antagonizing them. So I'm just going to play along. I don't see a single thing wrong with that argument.
I'm 70% sure they're substance users. Don't let the technology fool you.
He makes little quotation marks with his fingers when he says technology. All right, what was that about something watching you?
Like you aren't alone, you know?
It wasn't quite human, if you know what I mean.
Not human, as in a ghost? Do you know what he means?
Oh, I think he means the whispers in the machine.
It was this dark shape climbing upside down along the ceiling, like some kind of crab man.
Crab man.
Yeah, you know, the way it was climbing up and around the ceiling, like a crab.
It was stalking a cell, exhibiting ambush behavior.
What do these people think a crab is?
Odd. Crabs are usually marine creatures and not known for climbing walls.
Again, ambush behavior. Crab man.
Crab man! Yeah, totally. I mean, I didn't personally see it. A cell was alone that time, but I believe her. If she comes out running and says there's a crab in there, there's a crab in there.
Like, something lurking, climbing up around the ceiling? Maybe. Crab man? I don't think so. So Brian's saying I had a long week so far, been going to a different shop and helping them out. What kind of shop? Like, Brian, computer shop, automotive shop, textile shop, art shop, machine shop?
You should ask her about it, but be nice. Don't tell her you don't believe in the crab.
There probably is no crab man. Don't let them draw you in with this nonsense.
Okay, I know there's no crab man logic. I'm just playing along. Let's talk about something else.
Sure. What?
You mentioned some sort of Ecclesiastes owns the church. Who are the Ecclesiastes?
Oh yeah, that's a meteor name for the founding party. Thought it'd be cool to use it.
If you don't know what the founding party is, there might be a way to mask it with minor demagoguery.
Now, humor me, Andre. How is that masking it? Okay, we'll mask it because we, again, I am perfectly comfortable going with what rhetoric tells me to. This is how I've built my character, right? I just don't want to be insulting about it. Now, humor me, Andre. What is the founding party? In your own words. I just want to hear how you would describe it.
Come to think of it, I've never really looked them up, you know? I can't give you a precise definition, but they're a very powerful religious organization.
And
they have roots in ancient mass society. And they're the custodians of the Pericanassian church. Plus, they anoint the innocents. They, made the innocentic system, no?
now, Andre, in your opinion, would this ancient religious organization who anoints the innocents want a dance club in one of their churches? I don't know why we're fighting against this. I don't give a shit. It's an old abandoned church. Put a dance club in there. They sound like exactly the kind of people who, yeah, if he's going to pick up on this sarcasm, there's nothing I can do about that. And Brian is saying a machine shop with CNC and press. Well, I hope it's going well. You know, if you're sort of helping out there, and I'll just say that I've known multiple people and been a person in my life that was hanging around to help out and wound up getting a job out of it. So I hope that's going well. Mia says, never mind the founding party. I want to hear about this pounding party. Oh, I would also like to. That's why I Freudian slipped that out.
You're right, they do.
He says, without the slightest hint of irony.
The Pericarnassian church is about love. And Nordic music is about love. I got love for my Pericarnassian posse. Love is the relay out of death. We dance.
He violently shakes the tape player as if to see if he could break it.
Love is hardcore.
Unity. Unity.
Make some noise for my Insulindian posse.
He turns the volume up, then looks at you with a knowing nod, as if it's obvious you will now break into dance.
You feel it. The anodes and the cathodes coursing through you. Your big toe starts tapping along to the bass, as if testing the waters.
I'm so bad at physical instrument. And I still proceeded. Wait. No. There is no dance option here. Hold on. What's a posse? Get out of here. I guess love can be pretty hardcore. Kind of like that one. I like that one with this crew. You're right. How could the founding party be anything but enthusiastic? Dance music is about love, and so is the Pericarnassian church. I guess love can be pretty hardcore.
Oh yeah, it can.
He's coming around. You're getting it.
He nods at his friend, then turns to you with a mischievous grin. No words, enjoy the beat.
Feels good.
Oh, look at it. He's doing it. He's doing it. I'm not going to ask him, excuse me, children, what is a posse? Okay, no. You're right. How could the blah, 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 blah?
Yeah! Yakokata! The place to be!
He seems ecstatic that you share his vision of Pericarnassianism.
Do it for the masses. Do it for the crew.
His friend forms a fist with a screwdriver still in his hand, approvingly so. Can I have your screwdriver?
I didn't want to say it, but it was pretty lame of you to imply otherwise. Anyway, you got more questions?
So Drienne just pops in from the lurk to reiterate that once a stream requests that Angel make another verse for Girl Thoughts so that the song will feel complete and not cut off in their head when it gets stuck there. It's Mia. It's Mia's song. Sorry if anybody doesn't know about this. It is a continuing point of disagreement between myself and Mia over her Girl Thoughts song. We will. Noted is all I can say.
The one with the large head is still looking at you, nodding his head, waiting for your body to start moving.
Yeah! Let it out! Let the disco happen! Bring the disco into this world! Get this church shit on, and then dance there, motherfucker!
It always throws me off that Horrific Necktie doesn't have his own, image. So what's the deal with Egghead? I want to talk to him.
He's a quiet man, mostly communicates through music, and by being a master of ceremonies.
What's a master of ceremonies?
You know, a host, a declaimer of slogans. He's a performer, gets the people going.
Interesting, sire. A bit like you, then. An MC for short.
Drienne is saying, besides, it's brilliant. I don't know why you won't accept credit. Drienne, Girl Thoughts is a shockingly misogynistic song, which could only have come from Mia's incredible distaste for the presentation of women in a David Cage game. So when it's performed outside that very specific context, it is likely to get me stoned. So okay, so how do you communicate with Egghead?
Well, he's just kind of here. I don't really know how to communicate with him.
Have you ever really talked to him?
Yeah, sometimes. When I stumble and find my way into his center, you have to hear a lot of hardcore to the mega first though.
The man smiles mysteriously, choosing to let the beat speak for itself. I get it. He's a puzzle.
Yeah, I know he's a puzzle. I don't have any idea how to solve it. So I wanted to ask you about this tent full of equipment. Not because I'm a cop, just because I think it's so cool.
Yes. What?
What's with all the Nosefed?
The what now?
He leans in to hear you better. The Nosefed Ultra. You have a lot of it lying around.
Oh, the old Ultra.
He's like an actor, looking to the souffleur for his line.
I have a major sinus infection. Stuffy nose. We all do. Shit's all blasted up. Winter. Can't even breathe.
Okay, I guess that makes sense. I'm not gonna narc on them over their nasal spray.
Yes. What?
I see you brought your own water.
Yeah. Good to have, bitch to carry. When I first scouted the place, I did some reconnaissance. I'm not sure the church even has running water.
And distilled, too.
Oh.
He doesn't know what to say. I didn't notice that one way or the other, I gotta say.
It's the one they sell at the fuel station.
It's like he's lying to you, my liege. But he's slippery enough that there's nothing for you to grab hold of.
And that's what I got on a successful roll. It makes me think that I must have maybe a reaction speed or something else that I failed and it didn't tell me. All right, enough of this.
He nods enthusiastically, no doubt a little relieved.
Wait, when was I convinced that I'm a smart cop? What? Convinced you're a smart cop? He's not convinced. Oh, wait, maybe he is. Maybe that's that. He's convinced that I'm a smart cop, so he's going to be very cagey about it? No, that doesn't make any sense. Take a moment to analyze. Why is my logic so low? Hello to Ricardinho, who says, hello, drunk with a friend will be lurking to your voice on TV. Well, Ricardinho and friend, I hope that you're having a fantastic Thursday, and we are happy to provide some entertainment while you're safe at home. Drin says, it's brilliant satire. You just have to preface it by saying it's in honor of David Cage or something. Besides, you could always find a way to save it from total misogyny in the final verse. I am opening the floor to others to help workshop it. But I will certainly keep it in. Continue to consider it. So I can. No, I feel like I'm convinced that I'm a smart cop. Logic 5%. Sorry, logic 5, but with a -2 because I'm so smart. Awesome. There's no point in trying that. 3%. I need 2 6s.
As always, we'll be right here, waiting patiently for the news. Yeah.
All right, let me talk with Speedster back here.
So you had a talk with Andre, and now you want to discuss things with Noid. Good.
Skin shows through the holes in the Speed Freak's too large sweater. In front of him, an open toolbox full of carpentry tools and parts. Does he have a better pry bar? Because I have not forgotten about the frozen ice cream storage locker thing that I need a better pry bar for.
It's good you talked to Andre first. Gave me time to get a reading on your sign. Can't really talk to people before you get a reading.
He runs his hand through his hair, which is combed back in mock seriousness, and continues to fiddle with some gears. All right, sign?
Yeah, gotta compare. See if we can align.
Interesting.
I suck at socialising, man. Even now, our sign synchronisation is way off. But I'll see what I can do.
He continues to rearrange his tools. So I saw that sticker on the padlock. Can you tell me anything about it?
A sticker? You mean the yellow one? Can you describe it to me?
Well, it looks literally exactly like that one there, and that one right there, that one right there. Those are the only 3 that I see at the time, but that's how I would describe it.
Interesting. He wants you to describe it, though he already knows what it looks like.
I'll just show it to him.
Seems like my creation has found its way into the legal bureaucracy. What did you want to ask about it?
What makes it so modern?
Simplicity was brought to us by classical solarist modernism, but that was a tasteful, harmonious simplicity, right?
Quick pause, because Brian was asking if I'd seen his comment, and I think I did, but... Oh, has anybody heard a new truck called Rivian truck? I certainly have not. Is that... I'm like, Brian, I'm just letting you know, I am so ill-versed in the world of cars, trucks, engines, and so forth that I do not know if Rivian truck would be a make or model of truck, or if it's a style of engine or some other technology. Let me know. What's Rivian truck? All right, simplicity was brought to us by classical soloist modernism, but that was tasteful, harmonious simplicity, right?
Well, hardcore is not tasteful or outwardly harmonious. It's a warning shot. This will be dangerous. The echo of man's loss, haunting him. The sticker, the clothes, the music, same thing.
So whatever the hell he's talking about is so far removed from anything that we factually need to know about for the case. Just seems awesome.
It is.
What's it supposed to be?
The dead guy smiling.
And what does it mean? Why is the dead guy smiling?
He defeated history. We are living in the age of history, and in the eyes of history, we are always already dead. How can we ever smile then? Because history is a lie, and so are its deaths. The present moment and life are the hardcore. The hardcore expels death. Or maybe he's not dead. Maybe he's just really ecstatic about the beats.
I'm thinking, I'm not going to say this, I'm thinking maybe the dead guy, the smiling dead guy, is a symbol for communism. It's also dead, but doesn't care. I think it's better not mention it. Thanks.
He blinks, waiting for the next question.
And then we've just exhausted the sticker conversation.
I guess one could write an entire treatise on the thing. But what for?
Rather than ask him about the signs, again, let's ask him about the machines you saw in the church.
Weird stuff. Specialised. There was a data processor and some sort of long-wave machinery. Wires going into water. Gives off a spy sign. Or some fucked up Samaran science sign. You know, the kind that goes head first into the supernatural.
I feel like sign is just being used in here as a standoff for, like, vibes or... now I'm trying to think of another word for vibes. Nothing's coming to mind right now. But it's a little bit how, like, in Batman Beyond, instead of saying cool, they say shui. It's just a one-for-one replacement.
The People's Republic of Samara is a product of Revishal's sister revolution on the Grand Isola. It's known as a severely degenerated rogue state.
Okay. I don't know why I'm going to try to educate him. Well, wait a second. We're trying to get our signs to coalesce or whatever. But I'm just going to not say any of these things. I don't know. I'm going to say this from Encyclopedia. I don't want to be a big know-it-all, but don't be so hard on Samara. They're all alone in the world. Half of what we know of them is just propaganda.
I know, man. I was just talking about the aesthetic.
Also, Grumpy is clarifying that Rivian truck or whatever is an electric truck. And Brian says that's what I was working on at a different shop. The truck costs $75,000. I assume that's American and not like... I don't know. That is... sorry, like American dollars. That is a very, very expensive vehicle, at least to me. What's wrong with the supernatural?
Nothing's wrong with it. You should definitely be researched. You can still do sick shit with it, though.
The sickest. That's perhaps why it should be researched.
The supernatural. So you think it's real, that it actually exists?
Most of it doesn't exist. But there's also stuff that isn't allowed to exist. Because the moralists think it's too dangerous for the plebs. Psionic powers, pale-related diseases, pretenders pretending to be human, folk rights, that kind of stuff.
All right, I feel like asking this question is going to drive our signs out of sync, but why are you called Noid?
The hardcore aesthetic is esoteric. It's not meant to be discussed with the law at this moment.
He picks up some sort of a widget.
It's not easy to reach a harmonic resonance of signs without some adjustment.
Does this mean we need sign matching?
Yes. Further sign matching would do good for us. One way to achieve this would be by getting us into the church.
Do what I want and your vibes will be more positive to me. Are you sure the vibes aren't all right now?
Nah. Still strongly out of sync. Stage gamma disalignment. You heard me.
He examines a small metal bolt in his hand. All right, I'll come back later. Now, I'm going to throw down a quick save. Let's see if we can get any further with Egghead.
Back to the heavyweight jam.
Says the young man with the tape player and the large Boyadero boots. Lung-shaped trees sprout on his silver belt buckle.
Hardcore! Hardcore!
But is it? I mean, really?
Yeah!
This young man adds a capital G before the H in his yeags and args. This produces a guttural, Gotwaldian accent and makes him sound more animal, more in it. Or maybe it's not Gotwaldian. Maybe it's Oranese. Probably an homage to Oranje, where Arno van Eyck is from, judging by his name. Could you be listening to an Arno van Eyck creation right now?
So here's the thing, based on what we heard about him being an MC and like getting people into the party, I think he wants a yeah.
The Y to the E to the A 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 to the G to the H to the exclamation mark. Yeah!
He missed one A.
No. I'm a very hardcore cop. You missed an A there. I yelled mine with 6 A's, so you have to yell it with 6 too.
I'm the hard rhymer, the track attacker, the mic enforcer, the sixth checker. I am the law.
All right, I don't know if we got further or less further there.
We're close. True, hard, full, hardcore. Yeah!
This young man.
Okay, got it.
Maybe it's not Gotwaldian.
Let's ask if it's a famous Van Eyck.
You know about him?
He moves his mouth, but sound doesn't come out. His eyes are the size of saucers. Looks like you've rendered him speechless.
You know Van Eyck?
Yeah, Major Eichhead.
Wow.
The skinny wraith looks at you with some disbelief.
So am I. So am I.
He begins to shake his head so everyone would understand.
Oh, is that why they call you Egghead? Because...
Andre almost falls backwards from the realization. This is like me getting that major case update in the last episode.
Egghead to the mega. The K became the G. The boy became the man. The advent?
I still haven't solved the puzzle. Again, here's what we're trying to do. Solve the Egghead puzzle. There has to be some way to talk to this person. You just haven't found it yet. It's definitely not about signs. What if you just try again, find your way out of this maze of things to say? All right.
We're close. True, hard, full, car.
Say nothing.
Hardcore.
Is it really?
This young man, or maybe it's not Gotwaldian.
The white, yeah!
He missed one.
Okay, lenient cop.
It's nice to be important, but it's important to be nice. We're close.
Okay, so that's just a complete
True,
non
hard,
sequitur.
full, car.
Say nothing.
Hardcore.
Is it really?
This young man adds a
Uh-huh.
or maybe it's not Gotwaldian. Maybe
Famous Van
it's-
Eyck.
You know about it?
You know Van Eyck?
No, it's just a turn of phrase.
Oh, well, it really is him. It's an honest-to-God Van Eyck beat. Well, actually, a reworking of a Peppy Popic and Arsos track. But let's not get too deep into that whole mess.
The advent?
Christ. All right.
We're close. True, hard, full, car.
Is it?
It's hardcore.
I don't know what to say to that.
Skibber-dee, skibber-danger. I am the rearranger.
Your cop training did not prepare you for this.
Okay, is there any turn here that we haven't done so far?
We're close. True, hard,
Nothing.
full, hardcore.
Nothing.
Hardcore to the mega.
Say nothing.
Internally coherent.
I was wondering if you knew who killed the mercenary hanging behind the whirling in rags hostel. No, let's still say nothing.
All car. All right. Yeah.
You know, let's just ride this through. Nothing.
He furrows his brow as his very large head traces the sublime invisible movement of the music in the very real air of the stuffy tent.
Hard.
He lets out an agonized roar over the feebleish, obviously not too hardcore beat below. Well, if it's obviously not too hardcore, I'm worried that it is insufficiently hardcore.
The question is, what is the question?
That would have been good if I had asked you a question, but I didn't. Now it's just idiotic.
But there was a question?
God damn it.
The club.
True, hard, full,
Nothing, nothing, nothing,
internally coherent.
nothing,
Hardcore! All right! Yeah!
nothing.
He furrows his
Hard.
So
Is
hardcore.
it though?
I was just thinking that a moment ago.
One mind, one spirit.
The club.
True.
This is an
hard, full,
interesting thing to have us just go through this conversation over and over and over again and try to work it out.
Internally coherent.
Still say nothing.
All right!
Say
he
nothing.
furrows his brow.
Hard.
So
Is it
hardcore.
though?
It is hardcore.
What is it? I mean, really.
He tilts his head to one side and then the other like an owl. The question is, what is the question?
No, but seriously, I'm a bit worried it isn't.
He frowns, then starts bobbing his head back and forth once more. Well, I did it. Whatever the fuck that was, I got 10 experience points
Don't
for
be
it.
alarmed. Everything is okay. He isn't actually worried. Everything is still super hardcore. What he probably means is, it could be even more so.
Here's a perfect follow-up to that. Why are there lungs on your belt buckle?
Lungs are for love!
L'amour, la compassion, l'autodiscipline.
Love! In a woman's lungs. Lonely as I am, I'm not afraid. This strange, damaged feeling grows on and on. Cause I've never loved someone like you before.
I am really looking forward to not talking to Egghead anymore. You said you were worried. What do you think is wrong with the music?
There's nothing wrong with it. I'm still in love with the hardcore.
He turns pensive all of a sudden.
Sometimes I just feel like anodic music is in its infancy, you know? For example, take this Arno van Eyck jam I've been pumping for the last month, and will continue pumping for the rest of 51.
Oh, that sounds like hell.
Isn't something holding it back from being hyper?
He thinks for a moment, then his expression clears.
It's like it's only ultra.
I think it's super hardcore, but you're right. It's not hyper hardcore.
If anything, it sounds a bit proto, like it's not fully formed yet. You might be a moribund alcoholic and a failed cop, but you are pretty certain a thing cannot be both proto and hardcore.
It's proto, not hardcore at all.
Wow! Culture cop!
That's what they call me.
I think you might be right. But how could it become hardcore then? I know it in my heart, but cannot think it in my head. If this is not hardcore, how could anything be?
Sounds especially like a question. I thought the question was, what is the question? Try to think if anything could make it harder core. Try to think if anything could make it more harder core.
What? Guys, there's something happening in his head.
Think even harder? I'm pressing 1. Do it.
Oh yeah! He's doing it!
But you're not. This is almost certainly a matter that surpasses the limits of reason.
My imagination fails me.
I know! So does mine!
Sounds suspiciously like a question. I thought the question is, what is the question?
No! This is the answer!
I can't. I'm not going to say I'm the police. Everybody in the tent knows that. And if you have to continuously announce who you are, then you're doing something wrong with your life, or at least your interactions. I cannot help you with this right now. I need something else, something extra.
Yeah!
Ooh. Maybe your body can tell you what Arno van Eyck's jam is missing to make it harder core. I doubt it very much, and I'm not going to put any more points into physical instrument. That's not my character. I don't know. Wait, no. You know what? I can... put on like a shirt to give me an extra point. Yes, I'm gonna hold off on this. Are you a thought reader, which you're not?
No nation, but trans nation. No war, but class war.
So you're not a thought reader, you're a communist.
He's not a communist. It's just something he likes to yell. He picked it up from a tape jockey at the Elysium. She was a communist, though.
Oh, Brian is taking off. Brian, have a great night. And again, if I see any good sales on PlayStation 4 controllers, places like Amazon or whatever, I will keep you in mind and send you a PM.
Yeah! With the rebel yell!
So if I choose this, I think I get back a point of morale, and I could really use that. Best not to be a communist. Having extreme views on issues is detrimental to understanding on all sides. I'm really gonna harsh this party.
Oh, sure! I can do that! If you want that, I can avoid taking a stand.
Please don't turn him into a moralist.
I don't even know what to say to that.
Be a moralist, Egghead. The balance needs your help.
Aye!
You guess Egghead is a moralist now. Also, I got 5 experience points. Also, even though that was a moralist option, I did not get an extra point of morality. I really want to stop talking to him now. Does that mean that you're a thought reader?
Don't be a lunatic. Of course he isn't. Jermaine here just yells random things. Odds are, sooner or later one of them will come off as fault reading.
Yeah! Revolution imperative!
Unless you were thinking Revolution imperative right now. Anyway, I've had a similar thing happen with eggs yelling. I know what you mean.
You're right, I wasn't thinking that.
Hardcore superstar!
Okay, anything else, Egghead?
Time to compromise!
He looks at you with an almost impossibly wide, shining grin, looking to see if you approve. Almost there. Could use a bit more something.
Incremental change!
Appropriate.
I'm swiftly moving toward a solution which pleases no one.
How did this game know my battle cry? That's absolutely uncanny. Is your real name Jermaine?
Dark hardcore! Jermaine Egghead!
I take it back. Shouting, I'm swiftly moving towards a solution which pleases nobody. That was worth it for this whole conversation.
Basically, yes it is.
Okay, hold on a second. I'm gonna see if I can get any more points in this. Goodbye, Egghead.
Right.
Why does art inspire you so much?
But what is art?
Excellent question. Art is a diverse range of visual, literary, auditory, and performative creativity. It's an expression of imagination and technical skill. Additionally, it's history, criticism, and pure enjoyment. In short, art is the highest form of human communication, representation, narrative, emotion, and agency intertwined.
Would I fit into the art world?
Have you looked in the mirror lately? You have the exact features of a savage art critic, with that beard and those clothes, disheveled and prophetic. Perhaps you should try to critique architecture too.
I have been feeling critical lately.
Yes, you seek substance. No vapid representations and reproductions of social mores as made manifest in stuffy biennials. We're talking real, living art here. Become the art cop. Half art critic, half cop.
But can I really give up my identity as sorry cop? Do I want to opt in? I feel like I want to opt in. Well, let me ask this. Don't I have to be 100% cop to get the case finished and all that?
Quit being so indecisive. What are you going for here? Some kind of indecisive and camp aesthetic now? Strike a bold shape here. Go art or go home.
I'm in it. I'm way more into being art cop than fascist cop, which, if you missed our last episode, was actually presented as an option by my lower bowel.
Exactly. It's not only your duty to only catch the criminals off the street, you must also apprehend criminals of the printing press and the gallery, the trite and derivative artists and writers of the world. Go ahead and provide savage criticisms, Art Cop. The world is yours to rip to pieces and reassemble.
Okay, so I have saved up 2 points and I'm already halfway towards another one. I'm actually considering if I want to unlock another thought slot, because things like actual art degree, yeah, it's another copper type, the worst one, the most savage and brutal, the art cop. Nothing is good enough for him. Everything is shit. You have to employ an armada of adjectives to depict and demean the mediocrity of the works and visual institutions around you. Really flex that critical muscle until the vocabulary for punishing mediocrity becomes second nature. Here we go. Now, why does this appeal to me? Not so much the art thing, but if there's any bonus to rhetoric, debate, conversation, suggestion, drama, anything like that, that's kind of how I've built my whole character. So it does feel like that would be a good thing to do. That way, that one in Motorway South is another one that I'd really like to have. I don't know though, man. There's so, like, I do not have the best scores and stuff. I'm gonna close this for now. All right, and I'm also gonna save it. Oh, that's right, I wanted to physical instrument him. Yeah, let's put on my white tank top and lean forward in that. And anything else? Electrochemistry, drama. +1 drama and electrochemistry. No. I don't think that I have anything else. Nope. Okay. Let me try that roll.
The large-headed.
Incremental progress.
All right, 28%. Yeah! That's way better than like 17%.
No, that would be silly. Your body isn't for thinking. It's for robust, wholesome things. Things like discus, javelin, and 400-meter hurdles. Discus.
Did someone say disco?
Wait, why is this higher? Oh, horrific necktie wants to try again. Well, how'd he do? 42%. Let's hit it.
You know it in your lungs where the pressure should vibrate. In your heart that's alone. And in your solar plexus where the hits should land. So does every caudate animal.
Needs more bass.
What?
I got a Steve achievement, everyone. The young man makes a sudden move like he's about to turn the volume down, but that would be ridiculous. And a melody. A good melody is what makes the song really stick, so that you can't get it out of your head anymore. Points at your head.
Wow, okay. We should start with the melody. But where would we get that stuff from?
I don't know. I was thinking, I really like this response. Nowhere, I'm not going to become some sort of anodic cop 2. I've got enough coppa types already. But I'm going to say I don't know. I was thinking you would know.
I'm sorry. I don't know anything about anodic music. I'm just the party boy. I get the people going and say it's hardcore.
He feels ashamed. He can't be of more service to the future of dance music.
Holy shit, it's a quest. Okay, I'll look into it in an official capacity. It's up to the police to make the beats go harder.
The young man falls silent with appreciation. He even tries to contain his smile, as if it could hinder your investigation.
Basically, what you need to find here is a tape with some banging music on it, so that Egghead could use it to remix Van Eyck's jam.
Yeah, maybe that street hawker across the pawn shop has got some tapes to sell. That's just an idea.
Anyway, that's all yours to figure out, Copman.
Copman!
I have a tape with me.
Tape! Yeah! Spins the tape until the space escape! Yeah!
So I think The Smallest Church in Sansen is a sad song, but maybe the bangin' megamix is what he wants.
Alright!
He snatches the tape from your hand and attaches it to the empty reel slot. One hand on his headphones, he listens to the audio. Then shaking his head, he says,
No! No, this is gonna make people scared. Keep it positive. Keep the love in the house.
All right, let's give him the smallest church in Saint-Sens.
Righteous.
He takes the tape, hand over ear, listens, shakes his head.
No, can't do. This is gonna make people sad. This isn't sadcore.
He hands the tape back to you. Okay, well, worth a shot.
Normal. Stable.
Okay, that is everything I can think. How much time did we just spend in this little tent? That, I gotta say, horrific necktie earned his place around my neck when he... Wow, Kim has no questions about anything that just went down. When he allowed me to try that again, and that time, the 42% chance I succeeded.
A shaggy-looking girl in her late teens or early 20s kneels on the ice with an electronic contraption in her hand. Hearing you approach, she looks up.
Oh, hello there.
She must be Estelle, the last of the speed freaks posse. It's cold out here, but she's not wearing a hat. She must be freezing.
Also, it's raining. Here's the thing. If it was just, it's freezing, where's your hat? I might say that, even though Kim is not wearing a hat. But, dear child, that seems weird and creepy to say to somebody that you're just meeting. You must be Estelle.
That's my name. I take it you have met the others. Did they tell you about the church and the club thing?
They did.
Will you help us?
Yep.
Great. Let us know if there's any progress, will ya? We've been waiting for weeks here.
I have some questions for you.
For some reason, the words don't come out. Instead, you instinctively touch your collar to check your necktie.
It's crooked again! It always is! It's a traffic accident and a noose! Also, you should ask if she wants to party. Or better yet, ask her about that hat! Lest the necktie think you're boring.
Horrific Necktie has had so little to say up until episode 11, and now he just won't pipe down. Bad Necktie, let go of the... Wait. Am I getting advice here? You should ask if she wants to party. That does not seem like an appropriate question for a child. Or, better yet, ask her about that hat. Okay, I'm going to say the dear child. It's mostly that Horrific Necktie wants to do this.
Huh?
I said you should have a hat.
So should you.
I have one. Point at your hat.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Now that that's all cleared up. It's nice. You should wear one too, if you plan on staying outside in this weather.
Yeah, well... Look, man, fuck the hat.
What did she just say? That's not how a civilian is supposed to address an officer of the law.
Oh, really? Let's lord our authority over this young woman who's sitting out on the ice in the rain. I'm gonna do it. 58%.
Your eyes are fixed on her as everything gets very still. Dangerously so.
Ooh, I feel like such a big shot now. Excuse me? What did you just say?
She looks down, pretending to be busy with the device. Make her meet your eyes. The kid isn't arrogant. She's just afraid to look you in the eye. You already put her in her place.
Okay, so I'm not a big fan of any of the choices that I've made over the last 30 seconds. I am not kick some snow into her face with your boot. I'm the police. You would do what? See, this is why I didn't want to go with authority in the first place. You want to know why I put points into authority? Because there was a division between knowing things and doing things, and authority seemed like one of the personality attributes that allowed you to do things. I wasn't really thinking when I was doing that, oh boy, this will be my chance to bully some young woman on the ice in the middle of the night. God, I don't like anything that's happened here. You would do well to avoid that kind of language with me. Cool. That's the only option that I have that isn't just being a cartoon 80s bully.
You're right. I shouldn't have sworn. I'm sorry.
She looks up like a scolded schoolgirl, her years concealed beneath thick makeup.
Her hair is dyed blonde, with dark roots showing. Most men wouldn't exactly call her pretty. There is a manliness to her, a coarseness.
I don't like any part of this interaction. Now I have some questions for you.
Okay.
Why does perception have to be such a dipshit? I guess that now that we've, like... Sorry, every part of this, like... Sometimes you want to, like, lean into the character the way that you've built it, because otherwise, why did you build the character that way? And I just... Okay. Sorry. Let's just go ahead. The others told me you went inside the church. What did you see in there?
Oh, that. You're not going to believe me. There's no point in me telling you.
She's less prone to blurt it out, Crabman, than the others.
We'll see. Go ahead and tell me.
Okay. I went in and I saw a woman next to one of those machines there. Noid calls it a mainframe. She was dressed like someone who's been raised by their grandmother, you know, strange old clothes. Had this absent expression, didn't say anything, just stood still.
Go on.
And then, you know, right behind her, a man crawled down the wall. Upside down like a crab, down the church wall. I think the woman didn't even know he was there. He was completely silent. He stopped right before he got to the floor, then just hung there like that, looking at me. Right at me. I fucking turned around and walked out. End of story.
Like a crab, you say?
The lieutenant nods. His face is stone. What did this crab man look like?
It was too dark. I couldn't tell exactly.
Come on. She obviously could. She already went into detail.
So, if I want to ask her for whatever details she does remember, the only option is, come on, quit stalling on me. What did he look like? And to the extent that there's anything positive about, like Viper staring down someone who's a third your age and cold and uncomfortable, it's the fact that she's probably more likely to answer questions like this.
He looked like a banger, okay? He was all muscular and stuff. Had a mesh tank top. I know it sounds ridiculous, but that only made it scarier in a way.
A crab and a banger?
The lieutenant raises an eyebrow.
Yes, a banger. As in a mess gang member. I know what it sounds like, but that's what I saw.
I don't know. Here's the thing. I don't know why she would make up something so absurd. Like, of all the things that you could invent, why something so specific and so earnestly delivered? I don't know what she saw, but I don't think she's lying. So I do believe you.
Why?
It seems too ludicrous for a lie. That's exactly what I just said.
I guess so. Anyway, what else?
I'd like to know more about your associates.
My associates? I haven't got much to say about them.
You must know something about them.
Of course I do. I just don't tell people about my friends and who they are and so on. I don't provide information on them.
To the cops.
One of my favorite moments in the original Dragon Age, the very first Dragon Age, is one of the party members that you can pick up. You can say, hey, and I don't remember the character's name anymore, but like, hey, tell me about your people. And you would expect, based on the way that all of those games go, that this is a chance for the writers of the game to backfill the culture and the backstory and some in-universe lore about where this particular people come from. And he just says no. And the next follow-up option is no. It's like, yeah, no, I'm not going to try to sum up my people and culture in just a couple sentences. You're going to have to figure it out yourself. And he gives like a really funny example of like, and he is not an elf, but maybe a little bit racist within the scope of the game. And he says something like, I'm not going to give you a pat answer like, elves are prone to flights of fancy and excel at poverty. I really like that line. Anyway. Okay, what about you? Tell me something about yourself. I just like the fact that she's like, no, I'm not going to tell you about my associates.
Me? I'm a silver bird.
All right, maybe I'll ask you later about all this.
Don't know what makes you think it'll be any different later, but...
What's that device you have?
This? It's a portable recording device. It's for field recording. Low quality, but still.
See, my question would be, what are you going to do with it? It seems very important to her. Why? Field recording of what? phasmids also, and the wires?
Actually, just one wire. I picked on it till the braiding came loose. The wire leads to a contact microphone.
What's a contact microphone?
A contact mic records sounds from inside things, like this ice.
Your mangled brain would like you to know there is a boxer called Contact Mike.
Yeah. Hey, Encyclopedia. Any news on my wife's name? Maybe my mom?
No, you're welcome.
So I'm not going to ask her if it has anything to do with the boxer Contact Mike because, well, then again, the interstitial hint messages do tell me to say strange things. Sure.
Yeah, I record stuff with it.
No, the boxer.
No. This is a contact microphone. It's for recording inside solid objects. Contact mic just beats people up.
Oh, I can really go hardcore into shit she does not care about. You know, Contact Mike doesn't just beat people up. Contact Mike is a role model. Well, it's not my role model. I am sickly and weak, so let's skip the Contact Mike conversation for now. How does that thing work?
The mic? I don't exactly know. Somehow it doesn't pick up vibrations from the air. The book said it only picks up structure-borne sound, if you like technobabble.
Where'd you get the mic from?
Same place I got the recorder from, the Elysium.
What's that?
Oh man, you haven't been to the Elysium? It's the coolest place in this whole drug-addled shithole. It's a music club and a synthesizer workshop on Boogie Street in Jamrock. Musicians live there, like real musicians. I once saw Arno van Eyck.
Thinking about it really cheers her up. It's a long way from here, though.
Interesting. That's the guy your friend Egghead likes?
Oh yeah, Egg's really into him. Maybe even too into him. He's a pretty intense personality.
I'm pretty intense too. You can tell by my horrific necktie, bright green shoes.
I don't know what that means.
Okay. The only option on the screen is I grind, which might mean something different in this environment, but it just doesn't feel like an appropriate thing to say to a young woman alone at night.
I don't know what that means either.
Nor do I, but I have concrete evidence that I rock in the form of a wrecked tape player and a completely trashed hostel room. Sure. Feels a little bit like TMI. Let's say that.
That's cool.
She breathes on her fingers, looks like she doesn't know what to say. Nor do I, Estelle. You're right, time has deserted me. Am I going to lose a morale point if I say time has deserted me?
Sucks, man. Was there something else? About the contact mic, perhaps?
I did. I lost a morale point. All right. Contact mic doesn't just beat people up.
An entire litany spews forth.
What? So I can lecture her. God damn it. I need to stop talking to her. My character is a super freak show, and in this particular setup, it's very much coming across as so a successful athlete and an inspirational figure who's overcome social, physical, and mental obstacles. Or I can be super snarky, like really awful. On second thought, screw Contact Mike. He's not a champion. You are. Look at you here in front of a saggy tent, picking your nose to drug-addled music. The world of sports is in awe of your faith and dedication. Am I trying to inspire her to throw herself into the frozen river? Why would you say that to anyone? Okay. Or I can just back out. There's something else that I wanted to know. I'm going to say Contact Mike's a cool guy. I don't know.
Man, you are one weird cop.
Yeah, I picked up 4 weird cop points just now. Okay, this isn't about me. This is about your lack of respect for one of boxing's greats and for yourself.
What is it with you and this Mike guy?
The question is rhetorical.
Okay. If it floats your boat, I'll be more like Contact Mike and less like me.
Sorry. It was the combination of her saying that she'll be that she's committing to be more like Contact Mike and less like herself, which is a very ironic phrase and very funny to me right now. And also, I earned a new thought. It's time once again to return to the 20 things you like to say about Contact Mike, the boxer who is apparently a paragon of open competition. It really doesn't get any better than this. Any better. Both inside and outside the ring. Stop. Point at someone. Someone in the distance. Point your finger at him. He will point his finger back at you. Vaulting an impassable gulf of finance and privilege to... So the litany of Contact Mike would actually only take me 15 minutes to memorize, and the odds of coming out with this are so low. It's so low that I ever would have gotten this. Do I want to spend a point on this? Do I want to spend a point on the litany of Contact Mike? Is that going to help me in some way? Is going to be like, raise the cap for physical instrument by 1 when I have no points and I'm never going to do that? That's the trouble. Like, it's an interesting gamble that you might get something super awesome, or you might get something that you're never going to do anything with, and then it costs a different point to take it out. That's the problem with it, man. It's gambling something that is inherently very valuable, like the ability to, like, go further into this stuff. I don't think I can do it. Self-respect is not meant to float any boats but your own. I guess if we're going to lecture this random person on the value of self-esteem, we might as well do it correctly.
I'll keep that in mind for future use.
She turns to check her tape recorder. She's pointedly trying to end the conversation. All right, I had some non-Mike or Contact Mike questions for you. What are you doing out here in the cold?
Recording, I guess.
What are you recording exactly?
I think I'm recording cracks in the ice, but there's no way to tell. Not without headphones. I think I just recorded your footsteps too. Not sure how that will sound.
She scratches her forehead. What happened in the headphones?
My boyfriend sold them.
What for?
I don't know, man. Things. Just stuff you need for life.
A lie. They were probably pawned off for something suspicious.
And what are the recordings for? The cracks, the footsteps?
The musicians in the Elysium used them for making music. They looped the stuff, cutting the tapes together. They make music out of cracks in the ice and keys jangling. Crazy sounds like that. It's hard to explain. Anyway, I thought I'd make some too. It's supposed to be, like, a music place anyway.
She rubs her shoulders and looks around. This is not strange at all if you've ever seen that episode of The Cosby Show where Stevie Wonder stopped by for no reason and then made a song out of everybody saying things like "Jammin' on the One."
I don't really know what I'm doing. They use synthesizers too. I don't have a synthesizer.
She looks at the recording device, the thing she thought would fill her hours with joy and escape. It's turning out to be an empty fantasy. She feels childish, very useless all of a sudden.
Take this, your call.
The lieutenant begins to take off his jacket.
No, man, fuck that, I'm cool. I'm sorry I said that. I'm sorry about the fuck.
It's okay.
The lieutenant backs up, throws you a glance. Yeah, this is really the feel-bad conversation of the evening. This sad young woman with a recorder that she thought might allow her to be some small part of a music scene. She doesn't even have any headphones. Her boyfriend sold them for something else. Is her boyfriend one of the three inside of the tent? I don't think so. Not based on the way that she's talking about it. Wait, I can give her a hat. I don't want to give her this hat. I don't want to give her this hat. Can I give her a different hat? Fuck. I like this hat. Does it have to be this hat? I have other hats I would give her. Shit. I can't save it. I don't want to give her my hat. You said it's supposed to be a music place. Did you mean the one Andre's got planned at the church?
Yeah, the boys think it could be a place, like the Elysium or something. Stupid. It's really not going to be a Elysium, that's for sure.
The boys?
Yeah, Andre and the guys, inside the tent.
And why is that?
Why are you freezing out here while the boys are inside?
They got too much stuff crammed in there. No room.
Push some of that Nosafed out onto the ice. It'll keep better. Let her in.
Didn't you see it yourself? It's mostly music stuff, like this tape recorder, but bigger.
I have both of these questions. You mean like the headphones your boyfriend sold?
Yep, they were pretty. I'm sorry we sold those.
Why not just leave some of it outside so you don't have to freeze?
That stuff is more expensive than I am. More expensive than any of us, really. Doesn't matter. I can take the cold.
Mia is voting to give her the hat. I have like 2 other hats that I would hand over in a heartbeat. If I don't give her... I don't want to give her my hat. I'm going to give her my hat. Maybe it'll let me choose which hat.
Thanks.
Fuck. She puts it on. It's a bit large for her. She did not put it on, though.
Go ahead.
Oh, hold on. I do have like another hat. I really like that hat. Tell me more about this music place you've been planning the church. Why wouldn't it let me choose the hat? Damn it. Hello, Samalander. I hope you're having a great evening. Tell me more about the music place. Well, hold on. I got a 72% chance here because... Oh, she's more like Contact Mike. Wow, I really bullied her into doing what I want now. I'm going to empathy with her too. The tape recorder lies on the ice like a discarded toy. Pick it up. But wait, what? Am I going to steal it now? I mean, it's not a sneaking thing, but I'm going to do this? I'd rather... I would go get her the headphones from the pawn shop in exchange for my hat back, and maybe if I take the recording device, I can do that.
The device is still warm from her touch and heavy as a brick from the batteries inside. The company logo, Omicron, adorns its yellow plastic cover. Inside, the tape is rolling. The girl looks at the device in your hands.
I'm sorry you have to sit here on the ice feeling miserable. At your age, or at any age in this weather, waiting for it to get dark. It's very dark.
She looks you in the eye, her pupils wide, surrounded by a ridiculous amount of makeup.
The people who built this world intended it to be better for you, but they failed. It is easier to live in their failure with this by your side. Tap on the recorder. What? It's easier to live in their failure with this by your side. Why is that? I'm going to say that, I guess.
The wind howls. She remains silent. It's real. Tell her.
It's not a childish fantasy. It can be a real weapon against what's coming for you now. Am I threatening her?
What is?
Her shoulders shake a little, so I can say what's coming for her now. The dark, nothing if you got this, don't be scared. Or, I'm once again reminded of how Contact... I'm once again reminded of how Contact Mike rose from the slums of Saint-Baptiste to the top of the boxing world, overcoming adversity and serious brain trauma. Nothing is coming. Nothing he wouldn't knock out in 3 rounds. The real fight is for the right attitude. Do I want to say this? That feels a lot more specific than nothing if you got this. Yeah, I don't know. Contact Mike, who's apparently the greatest hero in the world, who I just heard about like earlier in this conversation, he is the route to all happiness.
I can't believe this turned into another Mike thing. Fine. Okay, I'll stick to it. I'll knock it out in 3 rounds.
She takes the device from you and places it in her lap. This episode, as many of any of it that we've done of Disco Elysium, these conversations are so surreal.
There is little you can do to help her now. But given the chance, you feel like you should. There is something about her. A weightiness. Something changes between you two. She looks at you differently now. As an equal. A fellow human being.
So thanks, I guess, for the psych session. Maybe I can return it. What's been eating you, officer?
You said eating me? There's nothing eating me. I'm a perfectly well-balanced human being.
Come on, I can tell. But, okay. Be a boyadero about it if you want to.
I guess there is something that's been making my life hell.
What is it?
Okay, the plight of the working class, everyone's just mooching off the entrepreneurial class. And we're not saying that. People just keep putting their selfish interests ahead of the greater good. No, of this set, it's the plight of the working class.
Oh, really?
The golem of capital runs rampant, smashing creator and slave alike. I fear the process is irreversible.
Wow. Social justice really matters that much to you? That's commendable. It really had you shaken up there. Are you sure that's it, though?
Let's see, I haven't seen much of this world, but from what I've seen, social justice is an adolescent term. Sounds almost liberal. What's got me shaken up is the people struggle, and it's got me shaken up bad. Yeah, we'll say that.
Yeah, man. They're pretty bad.
She says without much conviction. She's so sorry that I ever... The hat was not worth it to her. She was so much happier before I walked up to her. It makes me sick thinking about how thousands, millions, billions... how many people are there actually? Like how many people are in the world?
3.6 billion, not counting those in sale.
Really? That many? It reduces me to tears thinking of the 3.6 billion and God knows how many more in that soul place, crushed under the tyranny of the market.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. Are you sure you're not just hung up on some chick, though?
Hey, you know what? We read the letters. We might as well get something out of it. Mia, thank you very much for doing the shout out for Sam Lander. Now that you mention it, I found these letters I'd thrown in the trash. They might have something to do with it.
Okay. Why'd you think that?
First, they had just the faintest scent of chewing gum on them. I could still smell it under the chit. Written in a woman's hand. And oh boy, yeah, hold on. This is the one. Because, I mean, she confided in us, and we mostly just lectured her about some boxer that I might have just made up. When I read those letters, my character got knocked unconscious for 15 minutes. It was really bad. So they were written in a woman's hand, and oh boy, did reading them make me not feel good.
There you have it then, chick trouble. Not political after all. Who was she?
I don't remember.
Really? You seem to be pretty upset about this chica. Are you sure you don't remember anything about her?
I remember her scent, and that's all, which is bubblegum flavored.
Wow, man. That's some pretty strange shit. Are you sure the letters were for you?
So, I'm not putting that. Yeah, I'm sure. Why would I have reacted so strongly otherwise?
How come you don't remember, though? Is it like some selective memory thing?
What do you mean by selective memory?
Man, when I get hurt, I just want to forget that shit, you know? That kind of selective memory.
Here's the thing about it being selective memory. My character forgot everything. Everything. The whole structure of the world in which he lives. That's not very selective memory. So, between the two choices, I think it's more about me getting so unbelievably drunk, I completely erased all memory of this world.
Yeah. Or it might be that. This one time I did so much booze that I forgot too.
It's obvious she's done more than booze.
Or it might just be some psych bullshit, you know? Königstein wank.
What is Kangenstein wank?
You know, the psych thing they've got going on there. Rich people like it. People in Königstein are mostly rich.
So, I feel like this is a little bit ironic, thanks for the bullshit psych thing then. Like, I don't think that my character's actually calling it bullshit. I think that it's just he's reflecting back her language.
You're welcome. Might be for the best to keep that shit forgotten though. Just my opinion. If it itches, don't scratch.
Okay, tell me more about this music place, and then I think we're almost done bothering her.
It's supposed to become like a club for Nordic dance music. Like that new style of synthesizer stuff they play at the Elysium. Except that, yeah.
She looks at the old wooden church up on the poles. As a mean wind comes bellowing in, the 6-story structure lets out a doleful shriek. What is this dance music?
You know, a Nordic, cathodic, music that's made with electronic instruments.
Electronic instruments like what?
Synthesizers and tape consoles. Microcomputers too. Anything that uses electricity, but isn't guitars. Also found sounds, stuff like that.
You see clear, beautiful, violent flashes of light. Light cutting through a smoke-filled darkness. That is what the future will look like, if it ever comes. This is an evolutionary step up from amplified instruments, which in turn are a step up from acoustic instruments. What comes after it, you wonder? A black-tinted nothingness, or something finer?
Nordic music. Now I'm going to find out what it is. Wait, how have I already chosen that one? Look, it's sort of like darkened out. I'm going to say this. What is it?
You know, a Nordic, cathodic, music that's made with electronic instruments.
Okay, that's the same conversation we just had. Got it. Now about the church.
What do you need to know?
I guess that's it.
Go ahead. Okay, bye.
Okay, well, I need to put on one of my other hats. I have this hat that does not feel like a good thing to be wearing around based on who my character is, or this Peepo hat, which gives me +2 logic and -1 perception. So I guess that's how we are now. Should really throw down a real save here too.
Hello again.
All right, that hat is gone. The Dick Mullen hat. Honestly, I don't even remember what the bonus was for that hat. I think my memory is that it was like +2 logic or +1 authority. I don't think that it had any like really major bonus, but it didn't have any negatives, which is what I liked about it. Whereas this one, we lose a point of perception. The hat is, I don't know, close to my eyes or whatever. Oh. A school of fish huddle around the fence post, then scatter into the dark. So, it is 2100. Wait, I didn't throw down my real save that I said I was going to do. You know, let's come in here. We're going to save. Look at this bookstore save. All the way back on day 1, it says.
Heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand shut.
Let's open the padlock with the key.
The lock turns easily. You hear a click as the shackle pops open.
Let's go.
Lieutenant nods at you. Pull on the doors.
As you do, you hear the echo of the doomed commercial area. Its black holes and dusty machines. Then the feeling passes. A great whoosh of air rushes into the dark innards of the church, as though rushing to fill a great vacuum in the heart of the city.
I'm going to make 2 assumptions about this. A, the church is not going to be that large. It doesn't look like that. It's that big from the outside. And B, I'll probably want to have my flashlight up, even though as I come in here, it actually looks really bright. A strange stillness fills you as you look ahead. You should walk here, not run. Okay? Let's do that. Also, oh, flashlight is what I was thinking. Yeah, there's not going to be any tear in here, I don't think. Items? Or tools. Tools. Let me put this into my other hand. I'm going to try to remember to walk. More of the forked lightning patterns that you saw outside. Bark beetles. No, it looks intentional. Some long forgotten style. This grotesque wooden figure looks half finished. This figure was added later. It's not part of the original church, and feels like it's trying to become one with the church. Yeah, I really did want to give Estelle, was that her name? A hat. I just didn't want to give her that hat, but, well, we made our choice. The blackboard is filled with complex equations. They look recent. I need to spend my points. Is there anything I'm holding out for? Backyard wall. Really? Backyard wall. The map wall, the warded door, the barbell. I'm not going to get any of these. Padlock door was medium. The church doors. Yeah, see, the church doors I just walked through. I don't need that. And then Andre, if I can logic him to a godly extent, then I'll be able to figure out what he's hiding from us. And I would like to have more points in logic for sure. I'm going to put a point into logic, I think. Let's take a quick look here. Then again, logic is one of my highest things. What else would I want to put a point into? Well, before we answer that, what else would I want to take another roll on? Empathy would be nice. Savoir-faire would be nice. Savoir-faire would be nice because it would get us the policeman's cloak, at least potentially. And visual calculus. So... what am I thinking? Savoir-faire or, or I could do perception. Again, I'm going to lose a point of perception as I do this. Perception's only 3, and I do like being perceptive. Or rhetoric. Rhetoric would be the other one. Practice the art of persuasion, enjoy rigorous discourse. Yeah. I'll tell you what, let's do rhetoric, logic, and perception. Do I want to do perception, though? I think I do. Okay. I'm gonna lock it in. Two decks of reel-to-reel tapes spinning on empty. A portable Harman Wowsheet tape recorder. Is it possible it's recording something? It's probably recording me stomping around here now. Elf Planetory saying the white ones are already open. Yeah, that's what I was looking at. Like, were there any that I wanted to go try and then potentially level up? But a lot of them are... like physical instrument pain threshold, shivers, and like legendary difficulty. So I thought about like trying to reopen some of these. The only one that I think I did was Gaston Martin, who's probably not even there right now. But yeah, I do like the fact that it highlights the ones that you can try again in white so that they stand out. You don't have to like check them every time. Keep your own list.
A machine stands in the corner, watched over by the figures on the stained glass window. It's turned on and quivering with soft electricity.
Another radio computer. And this time it's already turned on.
He seems cautious around the machine.
These machines sometimes harbor traps, he thinks. Alarm systems and the like. Let's be careful.
We should leave. I doubt this place bears any connection to the case.
This machine looks just like the one in the downed commercial area. Let me investigate it. Step behind the computer. Step behind is not the same as tinker with it. Let me investigate it.
You see fluorescent play and print buttons on the keyboard. A hatch connected to the central compartment is wide open. The lieutenant says nothing. You see the machine's glowing frame reflected back from his diamond-shaped glasses. You're free to proceed.
Let's look. This is where we put like a hollow cube or whatever. Didn't we find some of those in the failed commercial district?
Behind the hatch sits a cube-like crisscross of filaments, smoldering in the dark like fireflies. Silver tape on the side says, in black marker, log, February to March. Another filament memory. Press play to talk with the repeater.
I want to look around some more first. Someone siphoning electrical current from outside into this antenna. Oh, that antenna. Okay, got it. The bowl is filled with water. A live wire runs directly into it. So, if that device is recording something, it has the wires. Hold on.
The silence in this part of the church, it's almost palpable. All the shifting matter and shuffling of living things is gone. Nothing seems to exist beyond the church anymore. Maybe if you were to stand in just the right spot, even your footsteps would be completely silent.
Wait, I think I still hear something.
And then it's gone. Almost all of it, but for the faintest of hums. It seems the sound here is detached from its source somehow, if not blotted out outright. Truly unusual. You can hardly hear your own breathing.
Okay, so since it advised me not to run, I'm not sure that stomping your feet is a good idea. Let me try yelling as loud as I can.
Your voice is barely audible. Not a howl, but the softest of whimpers.
All right, now I only have the one choice: stomp your feet and clap your hands.
You produce a few muffled thumps, after which the silence feels even more total, somehow.
Turn to Kim. What's happening?
The lieutenant points to his ears and shakes his head. Then he leans closer.
Can you hear anything?
Not really, but it's extraordinary. I've never experienced anything like this.
I wonder why the church was built with such strange acoustics.
His detached tone conceals how uncomfortable he is. Maybe the church was designed this way to prevent boisterous activity, singing and dancing on its premises.
So I don't think it's anything paranatural. We've actually seen no evidence of anything paranatural in the game so far. It's probably nothing. It's not nothing. I mean, you can physically encounter this right now. Whatever it is definitely real. Something odd is happening around us. Well, let's go with what conceptualization said.
Could be.
He doesn't seem entirely convinced, though.
Look up into the bell tower.
The orderly rows of ceiling panels become barely visible, then disappear completely in the darkness of the tower overhead.
Yeah, see, this is why I wanted to put an extra point into perception, because 42% isn't great, but it's a damn sight better than 31% or whatever else it would have been.
Just darkness without end. It makes your head spin.
What's the darkness like?
Filled with vague shapes of woodwork. The sense of a great height.
Try to make out anything?
There's nothing. You're dizzy and disoriented as you see dark and more dark rising.
Has anybody here, have you ever had that experience when you're like lying down outside and you're looking up at the sky and it is so like that vast expanse of open air that you just get completely swept up in what if gravity just reversed and I was just like hurtling straight up through it, and there's actually this like feeling of disorientation to it, this dizzying marvel of how big the atmosphere is. Has that ever happened to anybody else? It reminds me of how in like fantasy books you'll encounter dwarves who are like superstitious about the sky. And it's like, I'm not superstitious about the sky, but sometimes you can just like look up and get so drawn into the vision of clouds, or even like on a cloudless day, and it's just so much, and it makes you feel very small. And I kind of feel like that's what's being conveyed here.
Officer, what are you looking at?
He follows your gaze, attempting to see whatever it is that you're seeing. Blink. Oh my god, it's
You
Crabman.
see something hanging from the rafters, looking straight at you with dark eyes. Maybe it's possible to talk to it.
Psst. Hey, Daredevil. Nightcrawler.
Is
Venom?
that a man? Looks more like part of the carpentry of the building came alive and is now studying you intently. The Crab Man.
Thank you, reaction speed. Say nothing for a minute?
The man leaned forward a little, fixing you with a steady, unreadable gaze, then speaks.
Habitual alcohol use has made you into a scared little pussy, Holmes. But don't worry, everything's gonna be alright. You come to the right place.
That accent is Villalobos, a peninsula in Mesk and a district in Jamrock. There's a sizable contingent of Villalobos-speaking Mesks in Revachol.
The right place for what?
Here you can receive the mother's love. And when you're ready, she will take your hand and lift you out of the despair at the bottom of that bottle.
This man is obviously a habitual narcotics user. Do we really need to question him?
I'm put off by this religious stuff, he thinks. And maybe the ceiling climbing, too. It's all very hard to square with the lieutenant's own view of reality. Hey, and what was that about the bottle again? You haven't even drank that much lately. Lay off it already. Shish.
One of the options is just run away. Also, Chivalry is saying no one has ever felt that about my, like, marveling at the sky. And Mia's saying, LOL, shush it. Chivalry's laughing, and Mia's like, you nudge. This seems like a lot to confess to a total stranger. I guess I have a bit of a problem. I'm a policeman, and I need to talk to you about police things. I know a lot about alcohol use. I'm gonna go with the more honest one. I feel like it's more in line with Sorry Cop. Yeah, I guess I have a bit of a problem, and it has been getting out of hand lately.
Está crudo, way. I see deep inside you. Your body and your spirit are suffering greatly from overindulgence, and you don't even know it.
Great, more patronizing, so original. I'm very in touch with my suffering. I am so in touch with my suffering, it talks to me and gives me advice. Who else can say that? Yeah, I'm very in touch with my suffering.
Not all of it. I was like you once. You don't know all the havoc El Vino is wrecking on your mind and your spirit. Necesita parar, homie.
You know, actually, since we're here, you may want to pay attention to what the ceiling climber is saying.
He is the best therapist that I've had so far. No. Alcohol is central to my identity. If I wouldn't drink, I just wouldn't be me. No, I don't. Like, my character might drink to escape, and he's got a lot to escape from, including, like, oosh. But I don't like the idea that he would believe that alcohol is such a necessary part of his identity that he cannot be without it. For some reason, I think you have a point there.
Don't trust me. Trust the mother. I'm only the messenger, Holmes.
His voice echoes in the cold air of the church.
This is the Church of the Mother of Silence. You are welcome here.
He sways gently on the beams, waiting for you to take it all in.
You have no idea what the fuck he's talking about. Is he just trying to throw you off your game? 'Tis not an act, my liege. saving perchance he hath deceived his very self. This man is a zealot.
Some ravers... See, he might take offense at Crabman. That... Or he might think it's cool. I don't know. Crab people are pretty cool. Do you know where the other spooker is? Point at the strange machines. I'm curious about the strange machines. Alright, you know what? Let's open it up. You must be the crab man.
Never known myself to be a crab. But if that's the name you got for me, I won't stop you from using it.
To be fair, it really is more like a spider.
I always thought of myself more like a flame, flickering along the rafters and beams. It may be that I gotta work on my technique.
That's not the only technique he's working on. Look at those carved sculptures. And is that a satchel of tools over there?
Did you also carve those sculptures?
Sure am. Whittling wood used to be something I just did to busy my hands. Now I use those same hands in service of something greater than my own restlessness.
All right, let's consider the context and meaning here.
I see what we've done there. It's as if these figures are trying to become one with the church, or perhaps with the mother herself. That seems like a good thing to say. Nice curves, tad derivative. You're promoting the objectification of women with your reactionary depiction of female bodies. Maybe I didn't pay enough attention to the figures. Alright, I see what you've done there. It's as if these figures are trying to become one with the church, or perhaps with the mother herself.
It's all just for the mother, man. No need to overthink it.
What were you before you became a crabman and woodcarver?
I was in a gangway, but my memories of that time are fading. Most of them are already gone.
I lost my memory too, and it haunts me.
No, man. You gotta let that shit go. Then the mother's light touch will fill you with rapture.
He looks at you as if he wants to pat you on the back.
Do you remember your name, sir?
The lieutenant is not particularly interested in this information. He's just trying to assert some control over the conversation.
Tiago's my name, but those syllables don't mean much to me these days. A name isn't just your identity, but also, so to speak, your place amongst your fellows. Your place in the world. I ain't got no use for such a place anymore.
I'm going to... So I don't like the idea of giving away my name and rank unbidden. Then again, I'm a police officer. Would be nice if we identified ourselves. Let's do that. My name's Javier Dubois, and my place in the world is Lieutenant W. Freitor.
That's just the thing, Holmes. None of that matters.
He sounds melancholy saying this. His limbs are a mere shadow below the ceiling. What are you doing here?
This is a special place. There's a perforation in the world up there. A way out into nothingness. This church was built around it for purposes of veneration.
He nods towards the ceiling.
I circled it, nurtured by the silence bestowed by the mother. One of these days, I'll be pure enough to go drink from it directly.
All right, let's see if we can learn something more about this. Who is this mother of silence you keep talking about?
Oh, that's no simple question, Essa. She is one who can be painted or sculpted. She is a cavity in the dark beyond sense. She saved me, but I couldn't describe her to you. No one can, Holmes, and no one ever will.
What will happen once you drink from this perforation?
I will be incinerated, but not destroyed. Finally, I won with the state of the world before reality began.
That sounds a bit like substitution behavior, no? You know a thing or two about that.
Sure, Rhetoric, let's dive into it. Are you sure you didn't just switch one drug for another?
It's not like that at all, man. It's just faith and joyful service.
Too gleeful, those words. He is lying. Not to you, to his very own self.
Faith is a kind of a drug. That's a lot to think about. And it doesn't feel in any way constructive when said to someone who is so thoroughly dedicated to their vision of faith. It sounds at best highly dismissive. I wasn't entirely comfortable. Are you sure you didn't just switch one drug for another? We've met this guy minutes ago, and to start psychoanalyzing him in terms of like, haven't you just done that? But then again, I did build my whole character on psychoanalysis. Faith is a kind of a drug. Sure.
I heard that before, Way. And I know I can't convince you on the spot. But think, when's the last time you woke up from silent communion with a hangover, regretting what you did last night?
There are drugs darker than alcohol circling your system.
And there's going to be some more, too. Someday I need to take that speed. I think love might have been my drug of choice, and I think I'm still hungover from it. Sure, let's say that.
She took you for a good spin, huh? Don't worry, bro. That love is but a drop compared to the ocean of the mother's love. The mother will eat all of you and never spit you out.
So my options are, I guess you have a point, let's agree to disagree, or I was being insensitive, sorry, let's move on. Well, A, I'm sorry, cop, and B, I guess you have a point, is me agreeing with him, but I don't actually know what his point was. And let's agree to disagree. I don't know. I'm gonna just say I was being insensitive.
No worries, man. I know this shit takes time.
I still don't understand what you're doing in the church.
I'm a seraph, Holmes. I sing the mother's glory.
Can you sing for me? Sing for me something. That sounds very patronizing. And it doesn't make sense for you to sing if she's the mother of silence. Sounds nitpicky and like, haha, I got you. Like, I don't like that. Singing is good. We should all sing a bit more.
I don't mean literal singing, Holmes. This is the mother of silence we're talking about. It's the singing of a burning heart. You may be thinking, but fire crackles. No, Holmes, that's the material that's burning. The flames themselves are without sound.
How did you even find this place, this church?
Hard to say. I think I did some construction work here, back when I still had material worries. Up there, I realized what the true purpose of the church was. Been spending a lot of time here ever since. The past is nothing to me now, Way. It didn't belong to me.
All right, other
The
questions?
sinewy figure lingers on the wooden beams, blending into the shadows.
See, I want to find out as much information as we can before we turn to our topic of the time about ravers wanting to turn this place into a nightclub. And the more that I've heard from him, the less amenable I think that he's going to be about that. You've been here a long time. Do you know why the church was abandoned?
Police raid a while back.
His voice is suddenly flat.
Did you witness it?
Not really, or at least I don't remember much of it anymore. The mother's love has done its job. That's what's so great about the mother. It lets you forget about everything.
Similar saying, I think I've heard that line before, and I don't think I've ever seen Disco Elysium. Which line, Samilander? About fire crackles, but it's the material that's burning. The flames themselves are without sound. Yeah, that's he's saying about that. I have not heard that before, so I cannot help you if that's been observed somewhere else. And hello to Geek Pantheon. Geek, I hope that you're having a great Thursday, and I was going to ask you when you are going to be continuing. I know that you just finished up. Is it called Backbone? Why is that game called Backbone? Also, like, Black Sad was an odd name, but it's also based on a Spanish series of graphic novels or whatever. I don't know why that game was called Backbone. I really want to play that someday, but I'm curious what your next game is going to be. I know that you're going to be continuing in Mass Effect, but also I didn't know if you were going to be continuing in Divinity Original Sin 2 or what else you might be sort of adding to the rotation.
It looks like he truly doesn't remember. There's a vagueness to his sense of time.
Okay, I'm actually going to ask, you know where the other spooker is? Point to the strange machines around you. Also, so what do we think that the live wires attached to the plates of water are? I mean, I really don't know. At first I thought they might be measuring vibrations, but I don't know.
Other spooker? Oh, esa viejita es muy estudiosa. Don't know, Holmes.
Viejita is grandma?
Is it? Well, I scored well on rhetoric, so I will ask him about that.
No. I just call her viejita because of her clothes. She's actually quite young. Or maybe not that young. Age is just one of the many masks we wear.
So, Geek Pantheon is going to pick up Celesta, which I know a very little bit about. People have described it as being an extremely good replication of the combat mechanics of Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. I've heard from multiple people that it has really bad voice acting, but I've seen it. It doesn't seem that bad to me. It's not like Mega Man Legends bad or anything like that, or Mega Man... What was that really, really bad... Oh gosh, everybody knows what I'm talking about. That's a great question, Mega Man. Find the answer and we'll find Dr. Wowie. You don't know where she is? Yeah.
That's what I said, Holmes.
How can you not know that when you both live here?
Don't really follow her comings and goings. Just see her typing on her computer now and then. We got different interests.
So you got nothing else to tell me? How she looks, what she does, who is she?
I'm afraid not, Ese. You just have to wait until she comes back, or...
He shrugs.
Or search through her radio computer.
Yeah, that is an option. Some ravers want to turn this place into a nightclub.
The ones in the tent outside? Right? I see them. Guessing they're the ones who call me a crab. Probably scared of me.
Yeah, from the little amount that I've seen of Celeste, it looks pretty cool. I'll be very interested to see that, Geek. Do they have a reason to be scared?
Nah, man. They look pretty funny. And I don't harm no one anymore. Anyway.
Okay, well, what do you think about the nightclub then?
Why not? They wouldn't bother me none. I'm usually way up there. Imbibing. Ain't no music on earth that can reach where I go. Might even be nice to have some company.
He said that in spite of himself. He's more attached to the human than he'd like to think.
All right, so case closed, at least with him. All right, thanks. Not a weird conversation at all. A cracked pane of glass, which is very colorful. Frost has drawn flowers in the glass, obscuring the view. Oh, and I think we got a new thought as well. Wasteland of reality, 20 hours it takes. It's been brought to your attention that you're an alcoholic, and that it's a sickness, and it's killing you. You're crawling on your knees through life, your booze-filled belly dragging on the ground, your brain now fuzzy, now in overdrive, your hair sticking together with today's cold sweat and yesterday's vomit. Perhaps they're right. Anything is better than this, even bone-dry reality itself. Maybe you can quit. Well, I don't have any thought slots, so... A figure drawn in frost on the window depicting a deer. And then we've got whatever this is. Was that a scarf or something? It was, and it raises my pain threshold by 1. I'm gonna continue to walk, just to be careful. A spider has spun its web around this wood-carved pillar. So, oh gosh, this happened a few years ago. I went to go into, like, our dining room, basically, and, like, I do not know what made me stop, because all the lights were off. There was just maybe a little bit of light coming in from the next room, and there was something in front of me, and I stopped and turned on the light, and there was this full-on, like out of a movie, like out of a Spider-Man movie specifically, perfect circular web. Like, I don't know how else to describe it. Like a perfect orb weaver web that you would see in a nature documentary, and a big black, presumably orb weaver spider right in the middle. And if I'm saying the wrong species of spider, I'm dumb, but I'm just letting you guys know. And it couldn't have been more than a couple hours since one of the two of us went through there. And I came so close to walking straight through it. It was A, fascinating, B, terrifying, and C, it was like, well, what the fuck am I gonna do now? like it was, I cannot overstate the size and sophistication of something that had been apparently thrown up in a very short amount of time. And it's like, bro, we can't leave it here. And I feel really bad for the amount of work that you put into this. What we wound up doing was I got like a can and like got the spider into the can and took it outside and was like, hey, better luck next time. And then like we had to vacuum the whole thing away. We should have taken pictures of that too. It was elaborate, you guys. And what was the most stunning is it's not like we came back from a 2-week vacation. It was like a couple hours. But find the land speed record for a spider to weave a web that had to be 5 feet across. And this spider beat it. It was so impressive. Why did I get off on this topic? Oh, the spider in the game. That's right. Oh, hey, new shoes. +1 empathy. Let's hit it. And $1.50. +1 empathy and $1.50. It's basically interchangeable rewards. So, I gain a point of composure, but I lose a savoir-faire with my green shoes. Let's dump those. I'm going to go with these red shoes. All right. Oh, that says fashion and style. Let's get my mesh tank top on underneath my policeman's uniform. Oh, and that takes us back to start. So, I can snoop in this. I think we might hold that for next time. But let me just go see if this is a new area or what it is.
In white, silver, and apricot faience, the young mother of humanism stands above you. A crack runs across her body. She is impossibly tall, oval-faced and sad. A dark and radiant majesty. This is her innocence, Dolores Day.
Oh, I've heard all about her. Right, I heard a lot about her when I was reading in my letter. I guess she is highly reminiscent of Harry's wife, I think?
Cradled in her arms are a pair of glowing lungs, clearly visible from underneath her flowing dress. You should kneel.
I honestly think that my character has a thing for Dolores Day, whether or not she resembles his wife or something else. This came up a few times before, so I am going to kneel.
Your knees touch the floor. The floorboards are hard and cold. There you kneel among the snowdrifts, diffuse light falling on your hands from beyond the glass.
I don't think my character would close his eyes. He's all about observation and perception, except when he takes a hat that's -1 perception.
The woman looks down at you kneeling. She towers among her followers, architects, laymen, courtiers. There is a sad smile on her lips and a glint in her green-blue eye of what? Compassion? Remorse? She acknowledges the passing of someone who is still alive. You.
It's compassion.
As that soft word passes through your mind, the lieutenant draws an X-shaped cross from shoulder to shoulder.
Do the same as you get up.
Your fingertips touch your chest 4 times. Then you rise from your knees into the apricot-colored light of the window. Above you, the woman still smiles her distant smile, sundered by the crack in the glass.
So I guess that's how we determine that my character is religious. So, yeah, we got a couple things. First of all, let's try to encyclopedia this.
It's a mystery sprinkled with self-pity and regret. For some reason, unknown to your mind, looking at her delicate eyes makes you feel like you're ready for drowning.
Oh, man, I'm gonna die of morale.
All you know is, this is the young mother of humanity, and that you should go. Do something else. Escape her sad, worry-worn look.
Okay, if I failed that 83%, there's no way I can fail this 72%.
The shards glide in the dark. You see little pearls of light on the edges of the crack that splits the female figure. Something was written there. Remains of broken letters line the emulsion. What it said, you do not know.
Okay. So now that I've failed the 2 things in this game that my character is supposed to be the best at, now I can make the shocking, the incredibly prescient observation that this stained glass window of Dolores Day is Dolores Day.
The old woman in the village was right. This must be the Delorean Church of Humanity in Martinez, or the small Pinewood Church in some records.
You knew of the place?
It's a minor landmark, not easy to find. Most maps misplace it. It was built not long after Revachol's founding, 300 or so years ago, by first-generation settlers.
On the coast of an uninhabited archipelago where only animals had roamed before, in the wild reeds.
What else do you know?
There used to be 7 stave churches on the coast. Les Sept Sœurs, they call them. The 7 Sisters. Only one remains. The rest were burnt in the revolution or used for building materials. We should be respectful here, although the building appears to be deserted. I do not believe we'll find anything connected to the lynching here. Something else, perhaps?
He looks at the machinery lying around.
Respectful? Is the lieutenant a follower of DeLoreanism?
Yeah, I mean, he crossed his chest or whatever.
There it is again. A small pang of guilt. It's time to ask him what happened here.
All right, empathy says it's okay, so I will ask, do you know why it was abandoned?
I have a theory, yes. There was a police raid a while back. I heard the place was shot to pieces. The old woman in the village was being tactful with us when she didn't mention it. She has more respect for the RCM than many around here.
Who conducted the raid?
Well, your station was involved, I hear. Although I can't be sure.
How come the lieutenant isn't sure? Is this confidential information?
Geek is saying I got to go board game shopping today, which is always a nice treat. Did you find anything new that you sort of brought home? Anything that you and the family, you and the missus will be checking out? You're not sure about who conducted the raid?
3 precincts were involved in the raid, and people say Precinct 41 was one of them.
I guess I could have been here, because I don't remember.
I'm sorry, I'm not saying you were. It was a clandestine operation. I don't know anything about it, why it was conducted, or who participated. I try not to pry into extra-district matters.
If I was here, I should find out what I was doing.
Good luck. You will not get information on a confidential operation from your station secretary just by calling. If you really don't remember, it might be better to keep this one forgotten. It happened a while ago. It's unimportant to our business in Martinez now.
Okay, well, let's ask him if he's a follower of DeLoreanism.
Yes, we all are. Her name, body, and rule are synonymous with humanism. The laws we enforce are DeLorean in origin.
Ooh, I don't like her. She looks like a lever. Yeah, she clearly bears a resemblance to his ex-wife for him to even have that in his head.
The woman looks by in silence, smiling enigmatically.
I didn't think that you were spiritual.
It's not spiritual, it's constitutional. The DeLorean system does not demand faith, only accordance.
Okay, well, all joking aside, I'm actually really, disappointed that I failed those checks. And as I recall, I think that Elf Planitor clarified this. We cannot put on, pro-logic glasses or anything like that and take another swing at
The
this.
mother of humanism stands above you.
Was
a precious
encyclopedia
complex
and visual calculus?
wax
Oops.
painting on a single pane of glass.
Yeah, it wasn't even logic. There it was. I'm just going to put these on. I think that we've determined that this is not
the mother
helpful.
of humanism stands
Yeah,
above you.
no, but I could have
precious
put them
and
on to do a better
complex
shot
wax
at.
painting.
So I'm going to need another couple points because clearly my stats are not high enough. And what am I losing here? A point in authority? No, point in perception. I do not want to lose any more points in perception. Thanks. Geek Pantheon says, well, I have a group of vaccinated folks coming over this weekend to specifically play Mansions of Madness, a game set in the Cthulhu-verse. So I was going to pick that up. Sadly, they didn't have any in stock, so I bit the bullet and got it on Amazon. I still grabbed Unmatched, which is an awesome 2-player game, and an expansion for Aeon's End, because I just wanted to go ahead and support them while I was there. Well, that's very cool. Not the least of which that you get to hang out with friends, that everybody's vaccinated, and you get to actually do some in-person events again. All right, I think we're gonna look into the machine
machine's
here.
Keyboard
Let's
is
press
still
play.
illuminated. The speaker comes to life. Static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. An old lady greets you. Her voice sounds 100 years old.
Good evening. Votre accident on Saint-Brun. This is the East Insulindian Repeater Station 1. Please repeat. Is this the personal log?
It's the same old woman you spoke with through the radio computer in the doomed commercial area.
Sure, she seems a little bit lonely. Yvonne, it's me again. How are you?
Good, thank you. Please repeat. Is this the personal log?
Well, I looked inside the core, but the tape on the filament just said log February to March.
Good. Please repeat the password.
God damn it, I don't know any of these passwords.
Let's look around. There's no use trying to guess the answer. Maybe he knows something.
Okay, the lieutenant nods towards Tiago. I don't know the password.
Received. I will register this login attempt. Votre accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today?
Fortress accident, like the one in the doomed commercial area?
I have 2 machines registered to this company name in Martinez. One on Saint-Brun, the other on Rue de Saint-Ghislaine.
Saint-Brun, that's the church. And Rue de Saint-Ghislaine? That's the doomed commercial area.
Anything else I can help you with?
I'm finished with the call.
Sleep well, votre accident.
She says, her voice disappears into a whirl of
The
static.
machine's keyboard is still illuminated.
All right, let's try
revealing
print.
the rest. Nothing happens.
All right. So let's ask Tiago because. Oops, nope. Sorry, I didn't mean to run. I have no idea what the password is, so it seems like this is as good a person as any to ask.
Hey, wait. There's coffee in the back. Oh, wait. I meant the mother's love.
Have you by any chance heard the Fieta say the password to her radio computer?
Too many times, Esse. You need it for something.
Surveys are a good way to fish for personal information, especially in the name of public safety.
Survey of passwords and passcodes, identifying regional trends. Well, Drama says to do this one. Let's do a survey of passwords and passcodes, identifying regional trends in the interest of public safety.
Don't sweat it, vato. The password is afterlife death. What you think of that? Makes me almost pity La Nilita Pequeña when I hear it.
Okay, thanks.
I think we're done here, Essay.
Oh, that's it? Tiago's gone.
That was an interesting conversation. However, I'm still not sure how it's relevant to our investigation.
Well, it was nice of him to hang around until I got the piece of information that I needed from him. Nothing that has happened in this episode at any point is something that I would have expected to happen when we were coming into it.
The speaker comes to life. Static seeps through the machine.
Good evening. Fortress good. Please repeat the password.
Afterlife death.
Good. I have unlocked the filament. After ending the call, please press print to access the filament. Fortress accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today?
Now that's it.
Sleep well, Fortress accident.
The machine's keyboard is still illuminated. The printer prints out a long text document with dated paragraphs. It looks a bit like someone's journal.
Let's read it.
The first entry, made on the 4th of February, 51, by an unknown author, is short and concise. Arrived at the church. The door was boarded up, so I used the crowbar to get inside. Looks like the place has been deserted. Nothing out of the ordinary, but I'll ask around. Need to figure out how to get the electricity in. The lieutenant leans closer, scouring the printout over your shoulder. Just as you finish reading, he looks up, muttering under his breath.
4th of February. That's over a month ago. Whoever set up those machines has been here for quite a while.
Do you think this log might be connected to the case?
Our case? No, I don't think so. It must be some local eccentric.
His eyes wander to the various machines around him. Let's read the second entry.
6th of February, 51. Had a little chat with the local fishermen. Said I shouldn't go near that place, that the church was spooky and ridden with narcotics. It's a little spooky, all right. Still haven't figured out the electricity.
Third entry.
7th of February, 51. Finally got the electricity in. Next on the agenda, a new antenna. I'm thinking ESCA series, something advanced.
Why would you need an antenna?
Why would anyone need any of this equipment here?
He steps on a wire running on the ground, inspecting it with his boot. Let's read the fourth entry.
8th of February, 51. Bought the antenna. Had some problems setting it up. Called Simor for help. Heard the others are back to making art. Drinking somewhere out of town. Sulislav started a rock band again. Lexi has been seen asking money from strangers. Artists, yet again. Harassing citizens, stealing badges, occupying public spaces with installations, like the one here. But at least the artists have their act together. They're qualified labor. They can get work anywhere. Graphic design, ads. The programmers are doing fine too. I mean, they're programmers. The writers, though, they're fucked. I just have to find out what caused that data loss and be done with it. Still don't understand how it managed to wipe out the backup, when the backup wasn't even connected to the front. I know. Everyone thinks it's impossible. They say I must be lying. I'm here to set it right.
Okay, what data loss?
Seems like something to do with radio computers. Unfortunately, I don't know enough about them to understand what the author is saying. Something about the backup data getting destroyed, and how everyone thought it was the author's fault. Let's just keep reading.
Artists, programmers, Lexi, who are all these people?
I think these people worked in the radio computer games business. The one we saw in the Doom commercial area. They must be our former co-workers.
And I've been wondering if that password might get us into that radio computer, because we didn't finish there.
12th of February, 51. Brought some food from the grocery store. Apparently, there's a strike going on in the harbor. Definitely not happy to see the Martinez people again. Everything's now set up in the church. Going to start working tomorrow, 8 a.m.
The strike. We are nearing the date of the murder. Keep reading. I'm interested now. I want to know what's that radio anomaly that sent this person here in the first place.
Read the 6th entry.
25th of February, 51. I've been sending data up to Lintel for a while now, trying to recreate the data loss, but nothing. Didn't even feel like logging in, the disappointment. But I did discover a curious audio-spatial anomaly at the back of the church. I've named it the Swallow. It swallows sound. Need to get some mics.
Is she talking about?
The lieutenant looks to his right towards the silence. Read the 7th entry.
28th of February, 51. Yes, the first recordings confirm that the Swallow is real, and I'm not just losing my mind. It's a pillar of silence, with a diameter of approximately 3 meters. Seems like the higher I go, the less I record. This might be a coincidence, or it could be connected to the data loss that led me here.
The pillar of silence. She is talking about the silence. Is she suggesting it's more than just an architectural quirk?
I'm wondering if it has to do anything with the pale, because they've defined the pale as being just the absence of existence, and I'm wondering if it might be like leaking in here. Let's look at the water basins, or like, what could it be?
The lieutenant doesn't answer. He follows your gaze, studying the basins. The water shines in them. No ripples.
Read the 8th entry.
March 51. Some kind of young disco men have appeared next to the church. I've been trying to record the silence to find the epicenter, but now it turns out I've also been capturing the future of dance music, one neo-disco song over and over again. Fortunately, the song is so monotonous, I was able to devise an algorithm to factor it out. The other day, one of the disco men came in. Before I could even say hello, she got scared and left. Good, I don't want anyone distracting me from my work.
She must be describing a cell.
The girl on the ice? Sounds like her, yes.
Read the 9th entry.
March 51. I got a call from the repeater station. Someone has tried to access the radio computer in our old office in Martinez. Can't do anything about it. The storekeeper still doesn't want to let me inside the building. Thinks I'm part of some kind of curse. How Martinez of her.
That's me. I was the one who broke into that radio computer, and the storekeeper must be Plaisance.
I knew it wasn't a good idea to meddle with that machine.
No. It was a great idea. You're learning things. This is how you learn things about machines.
I agree with interfacing here.
March 51. A new 2-meter aux cable. Noodles. Crackers. Ping-pong energy drinks. Water. Toothpaste. Gum. Also, some canned air. Your reading is interrupted by the sound of the church door opening. A strange man makes straight for the radio computer.
I have a feeling her name is Suna. Also, oh, I moved over to the side. Okay. Really thought that she'd say something to me.
Breaking into my radio computer, I see.
She glares at you as she holds down the off button for several seconds. The machine reboots.
I do apologize for the intrusion, madame. We are with the RCM, you see.
We're not just breaking in, I'm pursuing a mysterious lead searching for my lost identity. That's not really why we're here, though. We're on a side case representing certain music venue organizers.
Well, you won't find any music venue organizers here.
She barely looks up from the keyboard. You hear the machine whir back to life.
It's just me and my computer, and it has been this way for weeks. Now please give me some room. I need 2 seconds to see that you haven't destroyed anything.
We should talk to her.
Lieutenant.
After she has rebooted the machine.
Oh, the lieutenant whispers. All right. Well, it is... Let's save it here. It is about... Yeah, 10:15, which is a little bit early to be wrapping up, but a good time based on the fact that I have a very, very early morning tomorrow. Now, tomorrow is Friday, so we'll be looking forward to twitch.tv/morethanamia with the return of Frightening Friday, where she expects to be finishing up the Medium on PC, and that'll be interesting to see. They only just announced the Medium will be coming out with an enhanced edition for the Xbox Series X and maybe the PlayStation 5. I don't remember that part. So If you were curious to see some late game medium gameplay, that'll be at twitch.tv/morethanamia. Patikin will hopefully be live with a short stream. He's been doing some sort of shorter intermittent streams here in the next few days, trying to decompress after a very busy weekend covering E3. Also, he and Tashir did another stream today. I know that Tashir has largely been taking it easy with what's the phrase I'm thinking of? He's been, when I say taking it easy, he's been stepping away from streaming to focus on a big project that he has working on in the background, and will be back on the mic in a couple weeks from now. Very much looking forward to that. But he still did have a chance to interact with Patikin, and the two of them covered one of the shows that was on earlier today. Geek Pantheon has revealed as early as just this stream that he was going to be playing Solasta, the Crown of the Magister, is I think the rest of that. I'll be very interested to see it, because again, that game, I saw a lot of like, oh, the voice acting is so bad. It's like, I don't know, it's fine. And if it's mechanically well done, that seems like a hell of a game. I love it when Dungeons & Dragons or other pen and paper role-playing games are adequately transferred into the computer space, because frankly it's just easier if you don't have to do all that math and draw those maps yourself. Like, hey, give me a great story and some cool party mechanics and nice combat, and I'm there for it. So I'll very, very much be looking forward to that. Samalander will certainly be streaming this weekend. If I were to guess, it'll be his ongoing pen and paper role-playing game, but also some more farming simulator. Also, Caroluna, Moo, Groomfy, and probably others who I'm forgetting now. Jägermeister, for example, have all been diving deep into SnowRunner on PC. I still really, really enjoy that game. I've played a very small amount of it. I don't think I'm very good at it, but I have very much enjoyed watching their streams and getting to interact with them and just listen to them interact with their own chat. So I hope that you will check them out as well. With those quick shout outs out of the way, and I'm sure there's so many more like Jason McMaster, and I'd love to see Poplotko back on. Let's go find somebody fun to raid, and we will see you guys. Oops, that's the wrong button. We are going to see you guys probably not tomorrow, but I would estimate on Saturday. So while we're looking, yeah, speaking of which, JV McMaster is live right now. So why don't we go do a quick raid over to him? And if you guys didn't already know, Jason McMaster got a brand new kitten, rescued from I think it was like a litter of strays or something like that. So I think it's, oh no, Sally's is one cat. Is it Sarah? But Sarah, now I'm suddenly forgetting the name of the brand new kitten. But if you wanted a great sort of entry into the JV McMaster Twitch family as we go raiding over, congratulate him on his new cat. He'll be super happy about it. Okay, with that said, you guys, thank you so much, and I hope you have a great night.